get, if anything, we could call it a respect win. It's not been the best of seasons for the Revolution this year, but with any luck, we can pull a win out of here and hopefully show the home fans what we can do.
Yeah, the Revolution team, they are definitely capable of something like that. We've had a few changes this week with the lineup and with the roster and what the team has been doing. So let's check in with Coach Ensign. We talked to him just a little bit earlier before the game. Let's check in with him and see what he has to say about those.
We're here with head coach of the Revolution, Michael Ensign. Mr. Ensign, good to see you again. It's only been a week since we last saw you. Tell us what's happened this past week since we last played.
There's been a few, one very big-time return. We got Sam Guernsey back. He came back from a broken foot a lot quicker than we estimated him to. So he looked sharp at training last week, and we're going to insert him right away and look for him to contribute on the field and then obviously and then off the field. He's a big spark. He's a fire plug.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Guernsey's a great player. Good to have him back. New name on the roster today, Kyle Ensign, little brother, it looks like. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yes, he's been training throughout the season, and he's just been plucking away, and he's done enough to earn a spot on the roster. We'll try to give him some playing time and some experience. Not asking a lot of him today, but just to get a feel for the game and the speed of the game, and look for some experience later on.
Awesome, very good. Now, this Wichita team we've never seen here at home before, but you've played them there a couple times, a couple pretty close games. What are you bringing to the match today?
The few times we played them, we've had a depleted roster. I think today we're getting back. We're missing Dave Long, which hurts, but we're getting closer to like what our maximum strength, and this will be the best roster that we've put against them. They're going to play open, and we're going to probably play a little bit more open today, so it should be fun to watch.
All right, very good. Thank you, Coach.
All righty, and that was the interview with Coach Ensign. As you heard, Sam Guernsey, one of our great defenders back there that's kind of leading the defense with Thomas Shannon, back to play today. He'd been out with a broken foot for quite a few weeks, luckily able to recover from that a lot quicker than we expected, as last week Coach Ensign said that he might be out for the rest of the season. So a little nice surprise there that Sam Guernsey is back with us today. So that'll be great to see him back in action at home. A lot of friends and family, local guy there. And Kyle Ensign, his little brother, has been training with the team. The Revolution's been doing a really good job with this team, keeping a lot of local guys, training with the team on a regular basis, getting to know the team, getting to know the plays, so that we've had a lot of ups and downs with the roster this season. So when that's happened, we're able to come in and pick up some more players. Alex Tiem, one of them, came in midway through the season, still on the roster, still performing well for the Revolution team. Now, also coming in, let's see, like he said, David Long not on the roster for today. That would be a little down. Long with his quick play, very, very fast feet, able to get out there on the ball. So Long not playing in today's game. For the most part, the rest of the roster is looking to be the same for this Tulsa Revolution team. For Wichita, let's see here, we've got a couple key players I want to mention before the game here. You might be hearing their names a lot during the game. A couple key players. Number 99, Matt Clare. Now, this gentleman is their leading goal scorer and leading assist man. Top points, he's got 17 goals on the season. Pretty considerable amount with 24 points. He had 4 goals just last week. And he also had 4 goals against Tulsa whenever Tulsa went and faced them in Wichita. So Claire, we've seen a lot of high goal scorers with Dallas and these previous teams. It seems to be that Matt Clare would be that killing force on this Wichita team. And then second player of note is Aviel Cordovez, excuse me. He has 9 goals on the year with 11 points. He had 2 goals last week, and then also 2 against Tulsa as well. Mr. Cordovez was a part of the Cuban national team, and we have a little bit more news about that. We'll touch on later on. But Rich, what are you looking forward to coming into today's game? What are you looking forward to coming into today's game?
Well, I kind of echo what the coach says. Is in watching the game last week, they really need to take this game to the B-52s right off the first kickoff. It's He wants to play the man-to-man. I totally agree. The one thing that they've got to look at is making sure that the B-52s don't take them off that half step that throws Lou Amos, the goaltender, exposed, which was what led to many of the goal eruption that the Sidekicks had on them last weekend.
Yeah, that's true. I think just playing Wichita in general, seeing a little bit different team, the style of play, as we know and as we've described, Dallas has a very, very different play style. So getting to see a different team in here, I think is going to be very beneficial for this Revolution team.
Oh, absolutely.
To play, I think, more to their strengths. As we can see, the Wichita team is a lot younger team. I think better matches the Revolution in terms of play style. So I think this match should be a little bit more exciting and a little bit more open for both teams to feel comfortable with these plays.
Yeah, the B-52s, from what Coach said, they play in wide open style and they try to widen the field out. So hopefully our guys can take that and run with that particular man-to-man style and take them on and use the boards real well to keep the ball to the side.
Yeah, I know the players on our team definitely have the capability of doing so. So today should be a pretty interesting match. Thank you all for joining in again. Today's match is actually a doubles as tournament play in the U.S. Open Arena Championships. The winner of this game will advance on to the quarterfinals versus Chicago, which happens to be our next game scheduled here at home is versus Chicago. So with a win today, that would work out for us very well. I'm going to pause just a moment for the singing of our national anthem, and in just a couple minutes, we'll be able to get the kickoff and get this game underway. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, that there was the national anthem, as I'm sure you recognized. According to Game Clock, we're just seconds away from kickoff. Going to be a little bit longer than that as we wait for the teams to take the field and clear off and get ready for the first kick. I mentioned a couple key players of interest from the Wichita team earlier. I do want to mention a couple of players of interest that they do not have playing today. One of them would be Chris Lemons, which is actually their captain and star defender. He is out today with an injury. And also, number 92, Larry Martinez, is also out with an injury today as well. So two of those players for the Wichita team that would not be playing today. For all those fans up there in Wichita listening to us, thank you very much. We try to cover both sides of the story here and make it interesting for everyone. And a couple of additions in place of those players before I forget. Number 5, Hans Hassel. Today is his first league game in a PASL game. He's played before in the Cup, I believe, in one of the Cup games in an earlier round. But today is his first game in a PSAL sanctioned game. And number 19, Anthony, let's see, I'm going to say this wrong, Skonyamilo. an Italian name. I should be able to pronounce that just fine, but it still does give me some trouble. So Anthony Scognamillo wearing number 19 today for the Wichita B-52s. B-52s are head coached by Mr. Larry Enlow. Mr. Enlow does have a lot of history in Wichita. He was an assistant coach with what was previously the Wichita Wings of the MISL. He was also coach of the PSL Premier League, which is a feeder league to the PASL. He was a coach of the Wichita team of the Wichita Gunners. So there's a little backstory on the Wichita B-52s. Try to do a little bit of research today, get some information out to you all. Looks like both teams are about ready for the kick, so we'll get this match underway momentarily.
All right, the referees for tonight's match is going to be Ron Paulson, Reza Namavar, and Brooke Weiss. They will be the ones with the whistles and calling the penalties. And we're just about ready to get underway, Josh.
All righty, and there's the kickoff. Visitors always get kickoff in indoor soccer in the PASL. They get it down to Amos. Amos sends it out to Mason. Mason fighting along the boards. See number 18, Dan Sack, sends it back into the zone. Shannon recovers there for the Revolution. Gives it up on the far side of Parente. Parente playing at middle field. Gets it taken away, but it's fighting to get it back. B-52's kicking in the Revolution zone. Shannon's there to recover. Gives it up to Guernsey. Clears it out. Parente takes it. Guernsey going up the left side. Parente's taking it in. A little fancy footwork there. Takes a shot. Deflected into the left corner. B-52 recovers and gets it up. On the near side, Dan Sack recovers. Gives it back to the D. Now the B-52 goalkeeper playing up just a little bit. Kind of like an extra defender there in that play. B-52 at midfield. Cordova, as that was, passed it back to 20.
Guernsey looked real good on that shot. It's very possible that the injury is not bothering. He doesn't look like he's slowed down very much.
Oh, no. Glad to hear, Coach Ensign said himself he'd been training really hard. He's a tough guy, and he's out there scuffling with the rest of them, playing really tough. And being out for a few weeks is not going to put him back at all. Amos sends it all the way up to midfield to Tayu. Kind of bobbling the ball around there. Can't decide who wants control of it. Gets it up, but Guernsey knocks it back to the B-52 defense. That's Scognamillo with it, gives it up. Let's see, who's that with the hair? 22, that would be Mr. Pittman. Travis Pittman gives it off. Now Thomas Shannon steals the ball away on the near boards, gives it back to Amos. Amos sends it over to Guernsey on the far side. Guernsey sends it all the way up the field for Levi Coleman. Not able to get control of that ball, and it goes to the keeper, Mel. Which I wish I knew the keeper's name, but on the roster we got today, it did not specify what position, what names were. So unless I can see the back of the keeper's jersey, I'm not going to know what name he is. I apologize in advance for that, right. As the positions were not specified on the roster.
One thing's for sure, that the referee is letting them play a lot more. Seemed like last week there was a lot more whistles when people would hit the turf down there.
Yeah, with I do agree with you there, Rich. With 12 and a half minutes left in this first quarter, there hasn't been a single whistle. A lot of rough play, a lot of back and forth. Definitely not as controlled as we've seen versus Dallas. Both teams kind of playing, I wouldn't say sloppily, but maybe more loose-ended than what we've seen in past. Whoa. A little sloppy give by Amos there. Under pressure, ball from Tiem. B-52s have it now in the far corner. Knocked out by Mr. Bradford.
All right.
For the Revolution, that's going to be Wichita ball on the far boards. And Wichita's going to pull a line change before they decide to kick this ball in. Brad Bryant gets it at the yellow line, puts it back into the corner. Across for Sack. Sack bounces off the boards. Amos is there to try to get it. Oh, good save there by Alex Tiem.
Oh, yeah.
Bradford fighting with it, comes away with it. It's Travis Pittman.
All right.
Scuffling still more on the near boards. Always a couple of B-52 players in there with a Revolution guy kind of double teaming, trying to get control of that ball. Amos comes away with it and gives it out to Tiem, which now Beckford is dribbling back towards Amos. Revolution not able to get a firm grasp on the ball today, not able to get really good possession. A lot of fighting back and forth so far today. Going to be a delayed call, it looks like, up by the Revolution, well, I guess the Wichita yellow line. And I presume that's Wichita's ball. Kind of a whistle after the play there. Number 99, Matt Clare, down here on the near boards. Watch out for him. He's Wichita's leading scorer. 22, Pickman gets it on the near side, dribbling up into the corner. Takes a shot, deflected off of the Revolution defender. Amos clears it to mid, but recovered again by Barton, number 12, Casey Barton. Back to Barton, feeds it up to Clare on the left corner. Clare looking for an opportunity, held up by Taiyu there. Give it to Barton, to Pittman. Pittman all the way back to the keeper, number 1. There we go, Jason Dewey. Jason Dewey in goal for Wichita. Long pass all the way up the field. Intercepted by Tulsa, trying to clear, not able to get control. Beckford playing with it there. Tiem jumps in the corner, gets a good foot on it, and clears it all the way across field to Taiyu. Frank Taiyu there, no one to give it to. Looking for someone, playing with it in the neutral zone. Gives it to Beckford. Beckford back to Shannon. Shannon pause and play, trying to reset a little bit. Gives it deep in the corner, and no one got the memo. B-52 coach going nuts on the bench over there. I'm not sure what for. I'm not seeing any harsh play or fouls out there, but he's already getting riled up for today's game. New player, Kyle Ensian, out on the field now for his first shift. We heard about Kyle a little bit earlier from head coach Mike Ensian, new add-on. Not expected to get a bunch of play time today, but hopefully get a little bit of experience. Oh, and there's a goal! Nice. David Parente takes it up the near side, sneaks it right past the near post on the goalie, Jason Dewey.
He just tucked that over the right side of the goalkeeper. It's 1-0 Tulsa.
1-0 Tulsa, 9:26 remaining in this first quarter. And we see now the Wichita head coach coming out on the field to have a word with the refs. Honestly, not sure what that's about. Rich, did you see what was going on over there?
I really didn't see it. Seems to be some issue with well, whatever it is. He's definitely campaigning with the referees at this point. Well, apparently he did not win the argument, so he gets back to their bench.
I'm not sure what exactly. I wish I did see what was the problem there that he might be arguing about. But unbeknownst to us, and it seems to be the rest of the people in this entire arena, I'm not sure what he's arguing about. But nonetheless, Tulsa scores first to get on the board with 9:26 remaining in the first quarter. Yep. Right off the kickoff, Wichita sends it deep into the zone, and Sam Guernsey gets tripped up there, and it's going to be a Tulsa ball. Now, good change of pace here for Tulsa. We not often have seen them scoring first or very quickly here, perchance, but able to get on the board pretty quick here, less than halfway through this first quarter.
Yeah, they definitely needed to take the early lead, and this is something that's it's fairly unusual for Tulsa fans to see, not to take the team for granted. And there's a foul out there at the midfield stripe, close to the midfield stripe.
That'll be, looks like 2 fouls on the day for Wichita. 1 foul for Tulsa so far with 8:56 remaining in the first quarter. Thomas Shannon lining up there. I wonder if he can put a long one in from the neutral zone. Going to play it safe over to Bradford. Bradford plays it back to Shannon. Shannon finds Coleman near the yellow line. He's heavily defended. Back to Beckford, then to Shannon.
Wow.
Bradford gets it in the neutral zone, gives it over to Beckford, back to Shannon again. Tulsa trying to get a play together here. Shannon gives it all the way into the right corner. There's Ponies. Ponies puts it off the wall for Coleman in the arc. Coleman able to get a shot deflected off of B-52, and they get possession, starting to take it out the field, up to midfield. That's 14, Brent Hobson. Brent Hobson taking it up to midfield, loses control, and then they B-52s gain it back again in their defensive end.
I was a little concerned, Josh, at the beginning of the game that we weren't going to see a lot of action out outside of our zone, but it looks like the Revolution have opened up the field quite a bit. as much as, that goal definitely put Wichita back on their heels.
Yeah, they certainly have. And just looking at the pitch right now, just the fact of the open game, like Coach said earlier, Wichita is constantly, they have wings on the boards. They constantly have players on the boards as much as they can.
Shot. And
Parente again with another break into the zone, a great shot. But to finish that thought, they're playing very, very open, and I wasn't exactly sure what he was going to mean by that, but now you're able to see as they're playing guys on the boards, they like to pass that ball to the outside, and then, as you know, get players on the inside near the arc, get some pressure on the keeper. Be able to move the ball outside in is always a great strategy. It's a strategy often used in outdoor soccer. You have a lot more room to play with,
right.
So you try to play those wings. So let's see what this kind of play style is going to work out for Wichita. Looks like timeout called.
Yep.
It was going to be a Tulsa ball on the near side. Ball went out, and so calling a timeout now to try to reconstruct and see what's going to happen on this play.
Josh, real quick, I want to give a shout out to something I hold really near and dear to my heart. I played this game for 11 years from 1977 to 1986, and I came out of the Union Soccer Club, and one of the great things about playing in that era, and I spoke with your dad about this earlier on an earlier broadcast, but is the fact that I got to play when we had the Roughnecks in town. And last week we had the great Victor Moreland come in, and he spoke with Josh and with Jeff on this broadcast. And it's just wonderful to know that soccer's making its return. I mean, with the Revolution, the announcement of the USL Pro team that's going to be coming in 2015, and, of course, got to talk about the Athletics. The Athletics came off of a wonderful year last year. Levi Coleman, our own Levi Coleman, was a member of the Athletics. They came within one game of making it to the National Premier Soccer League finals last summer. And it's great to see a resurgence. Not only, of course, it's always been big in the amateur ranks here in Tulsa, but when it comes down to having a pro team, I think anybody would say, from my generation anyway, that having the Roughnecks around and having your heroes come out to the pitch when you're at your practice and giving a clinic and giving you hands-on advice, I know it really helped me as a player back in those days. And I'm sure that with the Revolutions programs, they'll do. It's just ready for its second. I think it's ready for its second life.
Yeah. Tulsa had very, very deep history with soccer, and so it's great to have another team here. A couple owners. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to one of the owners at halftime, talk about the history, talk about how great it is to be back and get Tulsa a top-of-the-line soccer league here in Tulsa. Back to the action. Quick play. Thomas Shannon put a shot on goal, blocked, and put out. Now Wichita with possession of the ball. We've got 6:52 left on the clock in this first quarter. Tulsa up 1-0. Frank Tayu getting tied up and held on to, holding hands all the way down there into the corner, but stolen away nonetheless. 22, that would be Travis Pittman taking it out to midfield.
Oh, man.
Shot deflected by Parente. Shot by 99, Mr. Clare. Matt Clare taking that shot. Great stop by Parente there. Clare with it again. Passes it to Pittman. Off of Pittman. And Beckford gets control of that ball. Beckford sends it over to Mason. Mason pressured there by Michael Chang. Mason sent it back to Amos. Quickly out to Parente. Parente gives it up for Tayu. Headed back in by Brady Bryant. Parente playing back again on the yellow line. Gives it up to Shannon at midfield. Shannon's got the field to himself. What is he going to do with it? Shannon takes a shot. Deflected and put out of play. Thomas had a lot of room to work with there, and we know Thomas can make those shots from far out. He's got a great shot, awesome precision, and now he's got the ball up along the boards. Put it back into play. Let's see what he does. Plays it safe, gives it back to Parente. Parente takes a long shot off the boards. Ponies is there, puts it off the boards again, into the arc, and no one there. Just out of reach for Shannon and Tayu, who are both there ready for a rebound. Didn't quite get what they wanted. Far side, Brady Bryant has it, gives it all the way up. Far side, Thomas Shannon hustling down. They're going to call that. Thomas Shannon caught up with the Wichita player. Cannot see from here who that was, but Wichita's ball on the near line. That's going to be Second foul for Tulsa. Puts them even. 2 and 2 fouls for Wichita today. Over on the near side, that's Sack. Gives it back to Claire. Claire over to believe Bryant. Claire controls the ball at the yellow line. Gives it back to Bryant. Bryant over on the far side. Guernsey's there to intercept that ball. Loses it. Bouncing around, gets a shot on goal. Lamus clears it out. Tayu's trying to get control of it and take it out back into the neutral zone, but gets it stolen away, and Wichita passes it all the way back to their keeper, Dewey. Dewey resets, gives it up to Claire. Claire now has it in the middle. Tries to get a quick shot off that rebound on the boards. Not able. Stays in play, though. Ooh, hard shot by number 9, Mr. Cordovez. Blocked by Tulsa defense. Wichita still with control of the ball. Trying to set up a play. There's Claire. Looking for a shot on that left foot. Loose ball, but Amos is able to jump on top of it. That was a very close call. Off of that rebound, getting that bounce, and he's able to hop on top of that ball.
That was close. That was about as close as they come. As close as Wichita's come tonight.
Yes,
far,
that was
anyway.
Too close. Yes, too close for our liking. That was Kevin Jackson for the B-52s down there, wanting to poke that ball in, but Amos not allowing him as he got on that ball first. Little scuffle down in the Wichita end. Michael Ponies was on the floor in the corner, and the foul called against Wichita. So Tulsa's going to get the ball down in the Wichita corner on the near side. Scoring opportunity here for sure. The problem so far I've seen with Tulsa is they're not able to get control of the ball, as we've seen. There's just about 4 minutes remaining in this quarter, and for the last 4 minutes, Wichita had main control of the ball.
Absolutely, it's really interesting to see how you kind of wonder where this Revolution team was, because they've got pretty good control so far, but it's the turnovers like this one that just happened here in the zone. Mm-hmm. They seem to have got that under control.
Yeah. Let's. Still first quarter. About 3.5 minutes left to play. Still a lot of game left to play. We'll see what Tulsa can do. Right now, Beckford, a little risky play back in the zone, giving it off to Amos, but Beckford's bringing it out of the zone, gives it off to Parente. Beckford asking for the give and go, not able to get it. Now he gets it from Bradford. A little bit of sloppy play down on the boards. Wichita gets the ball. It's going to be Brady Bryant taking it all the way up through midfield, up to the yellow line, looking for someone far side. That's Claire. Not able to get a good shot up. Goes rolling in front of the goal. Near side, Cordovez is there. Gives it in the middle into the arc. No one. Shot from Bryant, and Amos is able to save that. Few close calls here already, but Amos has been on top of the game. He's paying attention. He's also getting a lot of help from the defense. A lot of block shots from the defense, from Tulsa's defense, as Wichita's been taking a lot of shots from far out, about the yellow line or out on the wings. So we're not
credit to our defenders. They're really giving up the body on the heavy shots from the B-52s tonight, and credit to our goalkeeper. He is really taking the lower part of that net away from the Wichita shooters right now. Yeah,
Amos has his wonderful physicality. He's able to get down, make quick saves, and he's not definitely another great save there. Even with a foot, even though you're a goalie, you don't always have to use your hands. A lot of times he's just sliding out, just sticking a foot out there, just knocking it away.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Great play so far from Amos.
Absolutely. You got to, in the indoor game, you definitely consider your goalkeeper a sixth man on the pitch.
Yes, and a lot of teams, play them like that, allowing them to come out far, up to the yellow line. Dallas, I know, is one that would allow that, playing the ball way up. And right now, as you can see, as you may not be able to see it via the camera angle, but Wichita,
right.
Odd ball there off that ball went out of play. Wichita put it back in. Little bouncer. Amos was reaching for it. We had a defender there. Kind of snuck back in him. Not a flashy goal. Nothing too powerful. Just kind of hopped right back in the goal there. Not sure who that goal came from. Can't hear the PA announcer in here very well. We'll have to look it up online for you real quick. But tying goal from Wichita with 2:05 left. That's going to tie the game at 1 with just 2 minutes left in this first quarter.
Just one of those cases where our goalkeeper got the first save and he couldn't make the second one.
Yeah, those rebounds are really dangerous, especially here in this indoor game. But here's Coleman with it. He's got an opportunity in front of the goal in the arc. Gives it to Mason. Mason pressured, not able to keep control. Now that is number 11, Chang. Chang brings it all the way up to field, but he loses control at the Tulsa yellow line. And now Beckford controls it on the far side, gives it to Mason. Mason gives it back to Amos. Amos, long ball, and all the way back to the Wichita goalkeeper. He'll hang on to it and give it to his defender there.
It's a shorter pitch here inside the Cox Business Center.
Yeah, it's a much shorter pitch, a lot of back and forth. It's almost like watching a game of ping pong today. Some instances, both these teams being very, very fast-paced up and down the pitch. Many turnovers on either side. If I had a statistician to keep count of those, I'd be able to tell you how many, but there have been too many. What I will tell you, there's just been too many turnovers, but that allows for a lot of quick play. Ball put out from the defensive Tulsa zone, so that's going to give Wichita the ball at the top of the arc with just under a minute left. There's 55 seconds in this first quarter. Tulsa needs to hold Wichita now from scoring on this opportunity as the game is tied 1-1.
All right.
Ball deflected, sent all the way back into the Wichita end. Goalkeeper there gives it up to midfield, but Tayu's there to steal it away. Now they get it away. Claire has it for Wichita. Claire tripped up by Ponies, steals the ball safely, and Ponies gets it all the way up to field. And quick save by Dewey. Claire wanted the call on that.
A little bit of acting on that, I'd say.
Yeah, he fell down and definitely wanted that call, but they weren't going to give it to him. A good steal by Ponies. Nice little play there. Bryant almost putting it in the goal, running across the arc unexpectedly. Little pass. They clear it out to midfield. There's only 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Shannon trying to clear it. Oh, shot on goal, saved by Amos. Into the far corner. Not able to get it off. Exciting last little minute of play there in the first quarter with the shot from the top of the arc. A little last minute saved by Amos. But first quarter been a lot more exciting than what we've seen here lately in at home field.
Definitely. Coach Ensien said it before the game. He wanted to bring the game to the B-52s because he felt that's where the team was lacking against the sidekicks. Of course, to quote the old hockey head coach Herb Brooks, whenever you score 13 goals, it's everybody's net. So he's really brought the adjustments that he was looking for. Looks like he's got them where they really want to be in terms of between last week and this week. I was really impressed about how the Revolution brought the game to the boards. It's more outside of the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I think this is a game that Tulsa's more comfortable playing with. A little bit more fast-paced, a lot more passing, a lot more moving. In general, it seems a little sloppy at first, not able to keep real control of the ball. I think that's one of the downsides that Tulsa needs to address for the rest of the game is a lot of turnovers, especially in the offensive zone.
Right.
They're not able to keep control of the ball when they've got it deep in the zone, which is when they really need to have a good control of the ball in order to get the ball in front of the net to put those shots on goal. So I think that's something we need to keep our eye on for the rest of the play. Wichita coming out really strong, very aggressive. There's been a lot of tugging, a lot of pulling on both sides of the ball. It always goes both ways, but this has been a very aggressive game. A lot of very young players on either side, maybe not as experienced. I can't say for sure for the Wichita team, but it's a much different style of play, much different than watching Dallas, and I think it's something that the Revolution can definitely adjust to and play their strengths to very well.
And I've got to speak to the transition game through the neutral zone here between the yellow lines. The one thing that I was noticing in the games that I've seen here in the Cox Business Center has been that the Revolution has taken a lot of time to settle the ball down. And right now they've managed to get the ball under control and advance it. And they've always had their deep man has either been Teu or
Parente, perhaps?
yeah, that's the one that they have down on the opposing team's arc. They're ready to get that ball to him, and it's something that they haven't really done very well in the games that I've seen in here. And they, like I said, it's ball control. The game of soccer is ball control, and they're figuring it out, and that's a good thing coming into this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's still a learning curve. I mean, we may be almost done with this season, but Tulsa as a team, it's still having a lot to learn, still having to figure a lot of things out. Seeing a lot of these teams this is the third time that Tulsa has faced this Wichita team, both times in Wichita. And so coming back home, I know it's always kind of a little bit different game to play, and trying to figure out these teams, how each team is playing, how do you counter that? How do we even play? What is our play style?
Yeah.
Which, I'm sure their play style is very cemented with what they have. Coach Ensian's been working them really hard. But yeah, just kind of figuring out this Wichita team. There's the kick for the second quarter. Second quarter play is underway. Tulsa gets the ball. Loses the ball, number 9. Let's see, Cordovez was taking the ball up. Shannon able to stop him. Cordovez stays on the ground. No whistle there. Shannon's got the ball deep in the defensive end. Far ball up the boards. Guernsey's there on the left side to intercept it. Double teamed. But there's Levi Coleman trying to get the foot on the ball. Not able to. Blocked by the goalkeeper and cleared out of the zone. Michael Pony's there for the Revolution. Gives it back to Shannon. Shannon, another deep ball into the right corner this time for Coleman, but B-52 is able to kick it away. Matt Mason there intercepts it at at the yellow line, not able to get a good foot on it as that was an easy stop by the goalkeeper, Jason Dewey. B-52s bring it out to midfield, up on the near side for Cordovez. Cordovez gives it in to Claire. Claire gets a shot off, but knocked away by the feet of Lewis Amos. Another one of those foot that I feel like that's a signature move of Amos's is diving out with his feet. Not often does he just use his hands. I found he's the goalkeeper that loses his hands the least amount.
Yeah, it's much like a hockey goaltender. He uses of course, here I am speaking to my hockey knowledge, but it's like, for the hockey fans out there, it's like when you stack the pads or you send the skate out. Yep. And, that's his signature move.
Or a little poke from the stick.
Right.
You don't want to take possession of it, but I just want to get it out of here. And that's what Amos does, and he does that very, very well and keeps a lot of trouble off their backs.
Oh, yeah.
Ball went out of play here on the near side. Looks like that's going to be a Revolution ball. Sam Guernsey on the near side to put that ball back in play. Sam, long pass all the way up to the B-52 yellow line for Ponies. Ponies pressured there, looking for someone, gives it back to Beckford. Beckford at midfield. Over to Guernsey, still at midfield. Guernsey deep into the right corner. Frank Tayu's there to get it. He's heavily pressured. Ponies takes a shot. Rebound off the boards. There's Bradford on the far side. A lot of fighting there, a lot of physicality. Yes. Playing very, very rough. You got to be very careful with the ball. Beckford has it. He's going to take a shot from yellow line. Little bouncy, just wide of the net to the left side. Ponies is in the corner. B-52 clears it out back to mid, and Beckford gives it all the way back to Amos. Tulsa able to keep control of the ball the first few minutes here. We've got 12:45 left in the second quarter, and so far it's been the Tulsa quarter.
Yeah, so far. As young as the quarter is right now. But the shots, the opportunities they've had have been clear opportunities, and I don't know, it looks like we've got, when you cycle the ball out to your defender, our defenders have gotten such heavy shots, and they're just, I don't know, it's just they're getting that lucky bounce.
Yeah. And I think the beautiful thing about our defenders is it's a very, very flexible defensive line. Oftentimes you'll see Thomas Shannon or Sam Guernsey or Alex Tam up taking shots, putting pressure, but they're also able to get back and play some D as well. So very flexible D-line, and so it's very, very helpful to keep play going. It doesn't necessarily put a damper on play. Now Wichita with the ball up on the near side, looking to advance, takes a slow down, try to get their team together here. Playing with it at midfield over on the near side for Brent Hobson. Hobson takes a hard shot from yellow line, and he's able to put it just past the gloves of Amos.
Yeah, rang that one off the far post. It was, it didn't look like Lou had very much of a shot at it. Got the lucky bounce on the inside. It's 2-1 Wichita now.
That was quite a pretty shot, to say the least, from Hobson. Nothing too hard, honestly. Just kind of putting it on that far post, and he did get a little bit of help from the post there. Amos was stretching out, diving for that ball, not able to get a glove on it. So that'll put Wichita up 2-1 with 12 minutes left in the second quarter. Let's see what Tulsa can do to counter this and try to keep this game alive. Wichita with control of the ball there at midfield. It's going to be Claire. Gives it off to 19, Scondamilo. Into the left side for Claire. Claire on the far boards. Gives it back to mid for Casey Barton. Barton sends it deep into the left side. Played off of Encian back to Amos, and Amos clears it to mid. No one there to get it but B-52. Mason kind of shoved down. Looked like an elbow there. Still playing rough. Mason comes away with the ball. Give it to the far side to TM. TM brings it back inside under pressure.
Okay.
And that looks like he put his shoulder into him just a little bit. TM goes flailing on the ground. And that's going to be a Tulsa Revolution ball about midway. That's going to be Wichita's 5th foul, it looks like, according to the scoreboard. And Tulsa's still hanging back at 2 fouls. So one more foul for Wichita, and that's going to be their 6th, which means a 2-man or a 1-man advantage for 2 minutes for the Revolution. Ball deflected off a defender, rolls all the way back, and Amos is able to get control. Sends it back in, and that ball punched away by Dewey. Now Guernsey gets the ball on the far side, but gives it back to Amos. Amos over to Shannon of the yellow line, back to Amos. Amos far up for Ponies. Ponies trying to get control, heavily contested there. Loses the ball. Wichita gains the ball in the neutral zone. Over to the far side for, can't read that number. Quick give and go, but interrupted by David Parente there. Ball back up to Ponies at midfield. Again, heavily contested by Sconyamillo. Sconyamillo gives it over to Chang. Chang takes a shot just wide of the goal. Bouncing. There was 2 defenders there, but Chang is able to finish that and just put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's it kind of left Lou Amos exposed there in that backside. Just split the defenders, and just like that, we're out to a 2-goal lead for the B-52s.
And just like Rich said, 2-goal lead for the B-52s in a matter of minutes. 10:14 left in the second quarter. And, I hate to have said that what we said earlier was a jinx, but Tulsa not playing up to the standards of the first 3 minutes of the quarter.
I think they got a little bit more complacent, at least in the last couple of minutes.
What I have seen is a lot of far passes for the Revolution. Yeah. They like to give the ball from deep in the defensive end and just forget about the midfield and just send it all the way up into the corners and let the forwards deal with that. But in that case, the forwards, they've been pressuring. Wichita's been putting a lot of pressure on deep in the boards, and Tulsa's not able to hang on to that ball and make use of it as what they want.
Yeah, that's one thing they've got to do is they need to start using the boards to get the ball out of the zone. The long ball's great, but like you were mentioning, you lose a measure of your control, especially down close.
Wichita now with the ball. Stopped by Bradford. Bradford gives it up to Tayu. Tayu mostly alone, tries to get a shot off. That's a slide, slides are not legal in the PASL. And that's going to be the 6th foul for Wichita. I do not know who that was. If he'll turn around, I can see number 5. That's Hans Hassel, it looks like.
It looked like he slid in on that one.
Hans Hassel playing in his first PASL game. Someone might not have told him that you cannot slide in these games.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that renders a card, but they're stopped playing. The whole Wichita team is down there talking with the ref. I'm not sure how there's much contest on that.
Well,
that might not be the 6th foul, though. I haven't seen anyone from Wichita go into the box. The Wichita coach, is now onto the field wanting to talk to the referees. Let's see if we can get this all ironed out for him.
My goodness. We were saying about the physical game early on. One thing the B-52s have done is they have stepped up the physical aspect of this game. Of course, in the indoor game, you're going to see a lot more, I guess the best word would be chippy, play than you would in the outdoor game. But one thing that's in PASL rules is you can absolutely not slide tackle, and that was pretty much a slide tackle.
Yeah, from what we saw, and I think from a lot of what the fans saw, that was a slide. Tulsa with the ball. Tayu gives it back to Shannon on the yellow line, puts it deep into the zone. He was heavily defended, not able to get a good shot off. Now Wichita clears it out to midfield. Bouncing ball all the way back to Amos. Amos sends it quickly out on the left side to Parente. Parente's got a little bit of field to play with. Inside to Frank. Quick give and go. Not able to come to fruition there as B-52s give the ball out to mid. Again, Parente gets it header off of Shannon to give it back to the yellow line for Frank. Frank being held. Able to turn, put a shot. Blocked by Dewey. Trying to get his rebound. Shannon also deep in there trying to get the ball. Ball's cleared off the walls. Guernsey gets it at half field. Long shot off the wall. He's going in for his own rebound. And he catches the leg of a B-52 player. That's going to be Travis Pittman. Guernsey went in for that ball. Looks like he missed the ball and got mostly leg, and they're going to call that foul. And that'll be the third foul for the Revolution.
Oh.
And, Rich, it looks like you were right and the scoreboard was wrong. There were only 4 fouls for Wichita, and that was just their 5th foul. So now they have one more foul until the 2-minute penalty.
One thing's for sure is we both know the Guernsey's one of the more physical players on the Revolution.
Yes, he definitely is. He likes to get out there and scuffle. Not a big guy either. Not really big in stature or anything, but he'll fight scrappy. He'll go out there with the rest of them. Foul called by the Tulsa yellow line. It's going to be 4 fouls for Tulsa now with 8:20 left in the second quarter. Ball played into the Wichita's left zone. Number 82, Colin Lauder, fighting there. Ball off the boards. Natan Modesto, gives it off into the corner for Lauder again here on the near side. Playing with Tiem. Tiem gets the ball away and clears it out opposite field all the way out into the neutral zone. That's to be Barton gives it back to Dewey. Now Dewey over to the near side, far side back to Barton. Up into the corner for Cordovez. Cordovez gives it inside for Hobson. Hobson loses it. And Parente now has on the far side, cuts in, dribbling that ball and leaves it. Tulsa slowing down play a little bit. Guernsey organizing, gives it over to Ponies on the near side. Ponies back to Guernsey. Back to Amos. Little line change. Amos has it. All the way up to the yellow line. There's that far shot into the corner. No one there. A little bit of a line change looks like for both teams.
It's another holdover from hockey is the fact they can change on the fly.
Yes. Great. Great way. A lot of times Tulsa changes 1 or 2 players at a time. Other teams, Wichita, as we see, like to change almost a whole line at a time. So those little stoppages are great for them. Pittman playing with the ball in front of the arc takes a hard shot off the hand and board of Amos. A little bounce around inside the arc, and Guernsey's able to get a foot on it and clear it all the way down to the Wichita end. If you don't pay attention here, Wichita will catch you very much off guard as they can play outside, but they swarm to the middle.
Right.
Easily swarm to the middle, put a lot of pressure inside the arc so that almost any ball bouncing around in there, someone's going to get a foot on. Tulsa able to clear all the way back, and there's Tayu chasing after it. Not able to get control of the ball. 6:15 left in this quarter. Claire for Wichita sent it inside the middle. Diving Amos with the save. Oh, but there's a head inside Tulsa's favor. Mason gets it at midfield, is dribbling up. He's pressured from behind by Claire.
Yeah.
Easily steps in and takes that ball. Gives it over. Good stop by Parente. Gets a foot on it, sends it into the corner. Shot by Claire, wanting to, but not going. Back into the right corner. Got 2 players playing with it. Parente gives it to Amos. Amos gets a second, able to give it up to Tayu. Off ahead of number 20, Bryant. They pass it back. Steals it from the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's trying to get a timeout. The goalkeeper was trying to call a timeout earlier while Frank stole the ball away. Tried to get a good shot off, not able to, and then he's able to call a timeout. A lot of frustration from this Wichita team so far today.
Yeah, they definitely lost the measure of control we were talking about earlier on in the quarter. Hopefully they can settle things down through the balance of what we got left in this quarter, which is a little over 5 minutes from look on the clock.
Yeah, about 5.5 minutes left in this quarter, and it hasn't necessarily been going Tulsa's way this whole time. The first few minutes look very, very strong, able to get control right off the kickoff, able to use the ball to their advantage, Tulsa has. But now they've allowed Wichita a couple quick goals. Nothing too fancy, really. It's just, I think, a lack of communication. I'm seeing out there on the field a lot of long balls, and then there's no one down there to get, and players turn back and yell at the defense, "Why did you do that for?" Or at least that's what I'm seeing from up here. I think just a little bit.
They need to play a little bit more conservative and slow down, and figure out where. Well, I don't think they have a problem finding their man. It's just getting the ball to them, and I think they're speeding up a little bit and trying to rush the ball, and they're fighting it a little bit, I think, too.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be completely comfortable. I think Tulsa might want to play at a little bit slower pace. Not quite as slow as Dallas, as I keep bringing up. I think it's a great marker, just end of the spectrum. Dallas, a very, very, very slow end of the spectrum. This Wichita team seems to be quite a bit on the other way.
Right.
A lot more faster paced, a lot of quicker passing, moving outside, especially when they get it down into their offensive zone, back into the Revolution zone, where they're really quick. They're sending guys into the arc. A lot of passes into the arc. A lot of those passes have been stopped by Revolution defense. A lot of saves, if we kept stats for saves for defenders, our defense would have a lot of those today. A lot of balls just not getting to Amos simply because defense is stopping them a little bit early. But still plenty of opportunities out there for both sides. As you can see, the score 3 for Wichita. Tulsa still won with about 5.5 remaining in this quarter. Wichita's goalkeeper is going to have possession of this ball to get this quarter started back up after that timeout. Long throw on the far side. Intercepted there by Beckford. And they're going to call a ball. Looks like a handball. Might have touched the arm of a Wichita player. Amos is there. So that ball is going to come. Excuse me, I thought Amos was putting it back into play. The ball is going to come all the way back up to the yellow line. I guess handball. First time I've actually seen one of those in play here. Parente takes a kick from the yellow line. Tries to give a cute little pass over to Bradford, but that gets intercepted. And B-52 comes away with a ball. On the far side, that's Modesto. Modesto gives it inside. Shannon knocks it back out of the zone. I think that's 12. Casey Barton tried to knock back in, but got it out. So Tulsa's ball. They restart quickly. Shannon's got it in the neutral zone. Over on the near side for Parente. Parente into the middle for Beckford. Back to Shannon. Shannon, far ball in the middle for Tayu. Tayu controls. Oh, and a little spin kick. Tayu likes to get those balls. He controls it on his chest and just flicks it around real quick. That's past that defender, but deflects off the wall.
Signature move right there. What would be called a bicycle kick, or over the head kick is what we were used to call it.
Yeah. I've seen, definitely Parente and Tayu take those bicycle kicks before. Oh, goal for Parente! That's Tulsa's second goal.
That was pretty.
Also Parente's second goal in the day. Great little setup. Top of the arc shot for Tulsa there as Wichita put it out of play in their zone. So Shannon able to give a nice little touch over Parente. Great shot, open shot, puts it on the far side of the net. Sneaks it past Dewey for Tulsa's second goal of the day.
That was a really, really pretty goal. Crossing over to you? Or Parente? Parente, my bad. And, boy, he just tucked that thing right under the crossbar. That was about as pretty as you can get.
And
top shelf, if I may invoke another hockeyism there.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Josh. There's too much hockey in me right now.
Oh, that's all right. I definitely understand. And it's an easily, we're playing in a hockey rink with hockey boards. So the game is kind of built very, very similarly. So easy to make those things. And if you're not a hockey person, you're learning some hockey with your indoor soccer here.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing about this game, when the NASL played in here with the Roughnecks, the one chief difference is, as we take a free kick here.
Now free kick for Wichita, trying to do the same thing at the top of the arc. Not able to commit. Tulsa gets it out of the zone. Parente now on the far side, playing with it, gets past. Shot in the middle. Bradford not able to get a foot on it. He gives up. And now Wichita's ball, they send it back to midfield, but Parente intercepts there and loses control of it. 22, Travis Pittman with the ball. Gives it back over on the far side now for Wichita. And the Anthony Sconiamillo. There's only 4 minutes left in the second quarter of play. Wichita with the ball, sends it out to mid, back into the top of the arc.
Right. Marking him real close on that one.
Very, very, very close man-to-man play there. Rebound off the boards, but cleared out by Beckford. Headed back by Bryant. Ball in by Clare, shot wide of the goal into the left corner. Fighting there for it. Back out to Clare, to Pittman. Give and go, but stolen away. Levi Coleman's with it now. He's got Parente on the far side. Little acting trip there. I could see it from here, Coleman. It's all right. Now Clare with it from the yellow. Tries to put a right foot. Not a great shot. Amos not controlling, but TM gets it out. Shannon now with it at midfield. Wanting quick give and go. Parente heavily pressured there by the whole Wichita team. And Wichita now with it back in their own zone. Shannon heavily pressuring there, not playing much defense at the moment. Tayu steps in, steals the ball, gets it past. Oh, and gets tripped up on it while trying to put a foot on it. Not able to put a ball into the empty net.
Wow.
Falls over the ball itself.
I don't think there's a soccer player out there, Josh, that's not had that happen to him.
Yes,
At one time or another. I know it happened to me.
Yes, it's such a frustrating feeling. You have that ball and you have that net, but your laces, your shoes, something just gets tripped up over themselves. Yeah. Frank not able to make it count there.
You just got to pick up and go on after that.
2:20 left now in the second quarter. Amos sends it far up the field for Frank. Frank, another shot off the right of the boards. And Beckford's there to help out. Beckford putting a lot of pressure. And now Dewey steps in as the ball comes into the arc. Gives it out to Clare. Clare to midfield. Sends it over on the far side for Chang. Near side. Chang has it. Takes it in the middle of the arc. Lauder is there, far side. Lauder passes it back into the neutral zone. Wichita trying to get it reset here on the far side. Gives it in. And back to the keeper. Gives it to Sack. Sack to the keeper. Keeper long ball up into the corner. And that's going to be ball out by Shannon. Very, very high ball out.
Up over the walkway on that one.
Yes. And
as they say, every soccer coach will tell you, when in doubt, kick it out.
That's going to be... Unfortunately, though, here in indoor, that's a ball at the top of the arc.
Yeah.
When kicking it out like that from your defensive end. So a little bit more work for Tulsa defense here. Wichita last time tried a little trick play. Let's see what they do here with the ball. Number 9, that was Cordovez, comes in from the side, take a shot, bounces right off the wall. Tulsa gets control of the ball. Pony's trying to get it out of the zone. Gives it to Parente at neutral zone. They're going to call a foul on Wichita with that ball with Parente as he fell to the ground. And that is going to be Wichita's 6th foul. And that will put a person into the penalty box for 2 minutes and give Tulsa a man advantage.
It's a good way to finish out the period. Puts Tulsa on the power play.
So Tulsa will have a power play for the last minute, 15 seconds of this quarter, and then start off the second half for the first 45 seconds of the second half with an extra man. So Wichita playing a man down at the moment for the rest of this quarter. Parente off to the far side to Shannon. Shannon back to Parente, the yellow line. Easy ball into Coleman, and Coleman not able to just settle the ball, but launching it up over the boards. Not what we were wanting to see there. Coleman just not getting control of that ball. Easy pass just left of the goal there, wanting to put just a little bit of meat on it, but sending it up into the crowd.
Okay. Well,
now it's going to be what outdoor would be a goal kick, so the goalkeeper will take it, and he can do what he likes. Dewey will throw it all the way up the boards. No Wichita players to receive, playing very, very defensively on this penalty kill. So Tulsa's going to take the ball and bring it up to midfield easily. Parente there. Shannon on the far side. Gives it to Shannon. Back to Parente. In the middle for Tayu. Now we get a foot. Knocked out Parente. Bradford now on the left side. Off the wall. Tayu can't get a foot on it. Gets it. Knocked out to Shannon. Shannon takes a shot from the yellow line, but stopped. And Wichita sending it all the way up the length of the field with only Brent Hobson chasing down after it. Parente gets it, gives it up to mid for Bradford. Cross pass to Shannon. Thomas tries to get a foot on it, but bounced off a B-52 player. There's only 10 seconds left in this quarter. Tulsa needing to do something quick. B-52 gets control, sends it up to midfield, over to the far side. And nothing able to happen there. That's the end of the first half, folks. Your score, Wichita 3, Tulsa 2, with 6 fouls to Wichita and 4 fouls to Tulsa. Tulsa able to stay out of the penalty range for that half, but we'll be looking for it very, very closely at the start of the second half. Interesting first half of play here in Tulsa, something a little bit different that we haven't seen in a while, a little change of spice. Rich, talk us through that first half.
Well, taking a quick look here at the stats, would appear that Lou Amos has made 9. Quick reading of point streak here, Josh.
That's all right.
Made 6 saves on 9 shots in that half, and forgive me, I'm not real familiar with how point streak really judges the shots here, but. It seems like he's had a lot of action. Of course, we're down a goal here at the end of the first 30 minutes. So he's had a lot of action, especially in that second quarter. But from what I can tell, and this is just a quick analysis, we're pretty evenly matched with the B-52s. I mean, I won't say we're the same team, but we're playing them. We're playing ourselves. Playing the game against the orange uniformed version of the Revolution. I mean, it's hard to make that judgment, especially with so much soccer left to go. But one thing's for sure is that what a difference a week makes, because we were 6 goals in the hole at this point, 7 goals in the hole, 6. Yeah, 6. I don't want to make it any worse than it was, but I think they have really worked over the week's time to really bring their game up and step it. This is kind of what they wanted to see against Dallas, but it's hard to pin this thing down. I think we've got control. I think the Revolution have control of the game to a certain extent, but they really need to settle the ball down. That's the thing. They don't have the control.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Just a week's time. I mean, granted, having a couple new players, having Guernsey back adds a lot. Definitely back there on defense. He's very, very physical.
Yeah.
Adds a lot of aggression back there on D. So that's something I think that Tulsa's been missing in weeks past. Also, yeah, like you said, I think the reference to it being like a Tulsa team, like basically like us, it's very, very, very similar from what we've seen. Very young team. Play style is very similar, quick.
They have a lot of room to grow in this league, I think, because if the youth, I know that Coach Encian drew a lot on the youth aspect of especially local talent. I mean, you look at Tom Shannon. He was Broken Arrows, one of Broken Arrows' finest, and Levi Coleman. He's one of my favorites. Of course, Frank Tia. What can you say about him?
Yeah.
But they've got They've got so much youth. I think that this team's going to turn around and really become a good second-year team. Of course, I don't want to sit there and call them, call it like at the in an emergency room. But we've got a chance to really make a difference in this league. At least be respectable all the way out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as a stat sheet, looking at it with wins and losses, this year wouldn't look too successful for the Tulsa Revolution team. But as a whole, inaugural season and all, getting started, a lot of fresh feet around here, a lot of experience out there on the field. May it be in other places. Frank Tayu, for instance, he played with San Diego before coming here to Tulsa, which San Diego is a great team out in the Western Division, number 1 in the division actually as of right now.
Right.
So he has some great experience. Thomas Shannon played some outdoor professionally in Australia, getting some international flavor there. Parente from Portugal. Playing here with us, and like you said, a lot of local boys. And talking to the radio broadcaster from Wichita before the game, I know Wichita has a lot of local guys on their team as well. A lot of young, a lot of local, few international flavors.
Right.
Like I mentioned earlier, let's see a couple of the guys. Javier Cordovez, I said he was on the Cuban national team. Him and Michael Chang, teammate Michael Chang, they both defected to the United States from Cuba together. They were both on the Cuban national team. They were playing in a tournament up in Toronto, and that's when they decided to split and defect. And somewhere along the way, Wichita has gone ahead and picked them up. So that was just an interesting anecdote I got from the Wichita broadcaster earlier before the game.
It's a great story to hear things like that. Of course, this is a little historical perspective. As I recall, and this goes back to the days of the Roughnecks. And I was speaking earlier about how the Roughnecks played soccer in here in the off season. We had an individual by the name of Iraj Danifard, and he came off the Iranian national team. And if any of you know, any of the older folks remember how in the late 70s and early 1980s, the revolution that took place in Iran. It was really interesting to have a national on this team. And having been in clinics with him and having, for a long time he had a shop where you could buy boots and shin pads and balls and everything like that. It was just, the international flavor of this game is great, but anybody can play it. That's the beautiful thing about soccer. You can really translate this sport to pretty much any other sport out in the world. And that's the great thing about we're watching right now. We're watching the, I guess you call these kids peewees, playing the game.
On a full-length goal, and the crowd is going crazy. I think what they need to do is just imagine that all of our players are that small and cute, and maybe they'll cheer that hard for us.
Yeah, it's you never know. We might have some future Revolution players down there on the pitch right now, John.
Definitely. The crowd is just loving these little kids out there playing. Oh, and to mention the crowd, a lot of fans came up here from Wichita. We have a good-sized group taking up mainly one of the sections across from our booth here with Wichita fans. They brought their drums. They're all dressed up in their orange garb. So great to see a lot of fans from Wichita here making a ruckus and supporting their team on the road. Not a very far drive from Wichita to Tulsa, so something else about this league that's really, really great, having a team here, having a lot of teams close by, like Wichita, like Dallas.
Right.
A lot of these places that can become really, really close rivalries.
Absolutely.
I mean, rivalries is really the name of the game. You look at any sport, you name a team, you can, if you're a fan of that team, you can name the rivals, and you are diehard about those games. They're intense games. Bedlam with OU and OSU, from an Oklahoma standpoint, people go crazy for that stuff. And I think rivalries is a big draw, and I think it really adds a lot of emotion and just a lot of extra oomph to rooting for any sport in particular. So it's great to have fans here from Wichita being noticed and making some noise. As of right now, I don't really want to talk your ears off, and I kind of want to rest my voice a while. I don't have too much to talk about. As I said earlier, we're hoping to get an interview from one of the owners of the Tulsa Revolution, but being owners and GM as they are, pretty busy. So unless they show their face, if it's all right with you all, which I'm going to say yes, it is. We're going to go ahead and just take a little bit of break, get some water on us, take a little bit of a bathroom break mayhaps, and we'll be back on air for the second half of play. So just about 9 minutes or less, we'll be back on the air. So just hang around and stick with us, and we'll bring you the second half of play here shortly. Welcome back, fans. I guess you all might not have gone anywhere, but I did, and I am back now. Josh Bergalari here with the broadcast for today's game, Tulsa Revolution versus the Wichita B-52s. Rich Lohman alongside me, stepping away just for a moment during this halftime intermission. We got about 2.5 minutes left in halftime. Just wanted to talk you through a few things, hit some stats, hit some standings. Central Division is what the Tulsa Revolution and the Wichita B-52s are in. Central Division standings as of this afternoon. Monterey leading the bunch. Monterey, Mexico, one of the Mexican teams. We also have, I think, Hidalgo and Saltillo. 3 teams from Mexico in the Central Division. Monterey leading with a record of 12-2. Hidalgo La Fiera that we've played, the Tulsa Revolution have seen here at home. They're in second place with a record of 10-2, which is the same record as Dallas that we are quite familiar with here in Tulsa already. Dallas with a record of 10-2 as well. Now Saltillo, a little bit behind them. Same record as Wichita as of right now with a record of 5-6. So 3 top teams with a winning record there. Now Saltillo and Wichita with a record of 5-6, and then Tulsa with a record of 1-10, and Texas Strikers with a record of 0-12. So Tulsa luckily not in last place as they were for a lot of the season, but they got that first win under their belt, which was actually versus Texas, and that was the Texas Strikers on December 28th. The one game that I and my father happened to miss. Go figure. But, you know, that's the way it is somehow. Maybe I'm bad luck. Maybe I need to stop doing this for the team. But nonetheless, we're here, and Tulsa is down on Wichita today, 3-2 at half. Now, remember, we do have that penalty still left over from the first half. So 45 seconds of the second half, Tulsa's going to have a one-man advantage. Let's see if they can come out strong and be ready for that. Get another point on the board, get this game tied up. Game's not over yet, folks. We've only played half of it, and so Tulsa still has a lot to do. As we've seen in games past, Tulsa comes out of the gates at halftime looking quite strong. Games versus Dallas, we've been in the hole in the first half, trying to acquaint with their way of playing. After second half, we come out a little bit strong, more aggressive. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this time here with this Wichita team. Refs getting ready here to kick off the ball. Scoreboard's down to 0, just waiting to get it reset and get everyone acquainted with. Want to remind you all, if you're listening to this broadcast, you could find the link on TulsaRevolution.com. TulsaRevolution.com is the place to be for all of your Revolution info. You go there, you can get your game jerseys and apparel, you can get a schedule, you can download a little pocket schedule, print it out, put it in your wallet, keep it with you. Also, don't forget, we do have a mobile app for your smartphones on Android and Apple devices, Tulsa Revolution mobile app, so go look that up. Always have it with you in your pocket. Look up the schedule, stats, player bios, all that great stuff. Go to TulsaRevolution.com. Looks like we're all about ready here for the second half of play. Wichita coach talking to the referees. Once we get a whistle, we'll be ready to go. As I said before the match, this game today also doubles as a tournament play. The winner of this game advances to the quarterfinals versus Chicago. This is the U.S. Open Arena Championships. It's been going on over the last few weeks or month, I believe. And so Wichita and Tulsa happens to have advanced to this stage, and they're counting this as tournament play. So the winner of this game will go on and face Chicago. And that is going to be the kickoff to start the second half of play. Wichita gets the ball and gets it deep into the Tulsa end. Thomas Shannon there with no pressure. Remember, Wichita is killing that penalty. Gives it to Parente. Parente at mid. Gives it over on the left side for Bradford. Bradford into Sam. Sam Guernsey tries to give it on the inside, but blocked by Wichita. Taken out. Parente with it again in the neutral zone. looking for Bradford in the middle, but gets intercepted by a Wichita player. Bounces off the bench, off the wall. Still in play. Amos gets it, gives it to Parente. Parente with it, gives it to Guernsey, back to Shannon. And that penalty is now up. It is 14-10, excuse me. And Wichita is back at full strength. Tulsa not able to use that penalty or their power play to that advantage. Excuse me. Number 20 for Wichita, Bryant, gives it back to the goalkeeper. Heavily pressured there by Bradford. Frank Tayu comes up to give some help, but he dumps it deep into the neutral zone. Wichita comes away with it, scrambles. Parente gets a foot on it. Back in the zone. Bryant recovers on the far side for Wichita. Comes in. Frank gives some pressure and trips him up. And that's going to be a foul on Tulsa. Wichita ball. Bryant puts it back in play over on the near side. Pittman at half. Gives it back to Sconiamilo. Up over to Pittman on the near side of the yellow line. Leaves it there for Cordovez. Loses it. Gives it to the Revolution, Frank Tayu with it now at half on the far side. Playing with it up to the boards. Off the boards. Gets tangled up and loses the ball. Pittman for Wichita now takes it up. Gives it back to the goalkeeper. Back up to Pittman. There's Claire to intercept. Pittman now has it in the neutral zone. Claire on the far side in the corner. Shot off the wall. Rebound. Guernsey's able to head it out. Not get control of Tulsa there. Mason sent it up. Ponies trying to fight for the ball. Ponies gets a shot on it. Goes up over the boards. Not able to get it past the goalkeeper. That was a very, very close call. Could have been called for that. Ponies is asking for a corner kick. He says it was deflected off the keeper. Ref is not going to give it to him. So it's going to be goalkeeper's ball for Wichita. Dewey handles it, looking for an open player. Long ball up on the near side. There, Beckford for Tulsa gets it, gives it over to Mason. Mason, bad pass back to TM, intercepted there by Lauder for Wichita. Lauder gives it over to the yellow line. Takes a shot, deflected by Amos, off his glove. Ooh, right on the edge of the arc there, but referee says he's still in. Don't worry about that. Amos and TM playing pass back and forth there. Up to Mason. Mason on the far side. Gets it stolen away. Trying to get it back there is Mason fighting with Hobson. Into midfield. Gives it back. Dewey now controls it at the yellow line. Little line change by Wichita. Playing the ball up the field. Intercepted by Tayu. Ponies gets it taken away. Beckford. Parente now on the near side with it. Gives it up to Coleman. Coleman trying to control there. Coleman heavily pressured. Gets double teamed. Gets away. Shot off the boards. Rebound. Ponies puts it in! Counted good for Michael Ponies. Right as Rich comes back to join us, Tulsa's able to put one in the net. Michael Ponies up at the top of the arc, gets that rebound and puts a foot on it just to put it just past Jason Dewey to tie the game 3-3.
Another defender's nightmare. Another soccer player's nightmare when you're on defense and you put it in your own net. But we'll take it when we got it,
Ponies, great ball there. Able to get a foot on it. Just had to beat the keeper. No other defenders really around off of that rebound off the wall. So good placement there by Michael Ponies. And that's what we've been preaching just in weeks past. You got to have a player up there at the top of the arc to get those rebounds off the wall. And Ponies was there, and he was able to do it and put it in the back of the net. Keep Tulsa in this game 3-3 with 11:38 remaining in this third quarter of play. Mason now on the far side trying to get a little fancy with it, but puts it out of play.
All right.
And I believe that would be assisted by Coleman. That goal from Ponies. All right, back to the action here. Dewey heads it back into the zone. Parente gets it in the neutral zone. Playing around, gets a little bit of space, gives it up. Taiyu not able to play with it. Mason not able to get a foot on it. Dewey just grabs the ball. Plays it to his defender, Bryant, I believe. Bryant far ball up the right side. Modesto is there to handle it, but Amos just steps out and just pokes it away from him. Oh, ball off the left boards from the far side from Claire. Claire has not been able to do much today. Tulsa's been shutting him down. Far shot from Hassel. Looked like it might have gotten tipped. Amos easily catches it there. Throws it all the way out. Coleman, fresh feet just off the bench. Coleman again into the right side. Off the boards, not able to control that bounce. Yeah. Bryant now with it over to the far side. Back to Bryant. Back to the far side. Tiem over there to intercept. Tiem gives it to Parente. Parente now heading back up the boards, but stolen away there by Wichita. Wichita turns back again. Over on the far side, setting it back to the defender. A little bit of a line change there for Wichita. On the far side of midfield. Poked off the foot of Ponies, goes into the Tulsa bench. That's going to be Wichita's ball over there on the far side at half.
Well,
deep into the right corner for Wichita. Tim putting on the pressure there. Claire receives it in the neutral zone. Gives it back. Claire gets it in the right corner. Puts a shot. Oh, off the wall. And Ponies comes in to save and just knock it out of the arena. Very, very close shot there by Claire. Just puts it off the left boards. Almost looked like it was going to hit the post. And there's a Wichita there lining up to take a shot, but Ponies just comes out of nowhere and gets a foot on it.
yeah.
Wow, and I'm surprised that little kid threw it all the way down there to the field.
Yeah.
It's quite a
That came
surprise.
out almost our level there, Josh.
Yeah, that was right up sitting next to us. Now they've got the ball at the arc. Wichita with a fancy play. Oh, off the top. Going for upper 90, Claire was, but it put it off the top of the boards. And that decided to get knocked out of play. So that's going to be Tulsa's ball on the far side of the boards. Kyle Entian in right now, getting a little bit more play time back there with Sam Guernsey. Guernsey being a leader back on this defensive line for Tulsa. Ball out of play here on the near side. Tulsa's ball. Guernsey put it back in play there. Plays it back to Amos. Amos up to midfield for Beckford. Beckford challenged there by Kevin Jackson. Jackson turns it around. Now Claire has it in the corner. Puts a shot off the wall for a rebound for Jackson. That gets knocked out of play. This Wichita team, a lot of times I'm seeing intentionally taking shots at the wall. Taking shots at the wall near the goal just to get that rebound to bounce out at the arc. Very, very good strategy by Wichita. Luckily, has not worked for them too many times today. Tulsa defense staying on top of things, playing very, very closely.
It's a great tactic. I mean, if you're going to wait for that rebound shot because you've already got the goalkeeper pretty well committed to the first shot, and then he's just got to recover. And right now, as I was about ready to mention, we've got Lou Amos has got better vision on the ball in this game and in all of the games I've seen. I mean, those 3 goals they got on him is really something, but yeah, he's got better vision on the ball. He's got better position on it.
Yeah, I think they did a lot of help. Just after last week, Amos was very, very, very frustrated. I think with the whole team and the defense especially, while playing Dallas, just a huge deficit that we got to very quickly. I think a lot of communication happened. A lot of changes have been made during practice. Shot from Claire again, just over the boards. Not able to connect today. But I think there's a lot more talk. Amos has looked a lot more on his game, and the defense have been doing a very, very good job from preventing balls to getting back to Amos. Wichita has been controlling the ball here, getting some shots off in the Tulsa zone. There's Pittman with a shot just right of the boards. Getting his rebound out at mid. Entian fighting hard, gets it away. Taiyu there trying to get it in the neutral zone. There's Bryant, gets it at midfield for Wichita to Pittman. Back to Bryant, far over on the long side for Wichita. That would be Hobson. Hobson takes a shot. Amos stops it, a little bounce, but he recovers. Sam Guernsey there, making sure of that. Long toss all the way up. Thomas Shannon there in the left boards. Sends it back to Ponies, playing a little bit safe. Gives it over to Guernsey. Guernsey in the mid-circle. Up to Thomas. Thomas back to Ponies on the far left side. All the way over to Guernsey. Guernsey puts a head into the arc. Tayu's hoping to get a foot on it, but stopped by Dewey before he does. B-52 now up the field in the Tulsa corner. Left side. Gets a foot on it. Lauder takes that shot. Blocked by Shannon. Shannon now in the corner fighting with Hobson. Ponies now up, steals it away. Going through Wichita D to Tayu. Back to Ponies. Ooh. Tangled up there. Wichita comes away with the ball. While the defender's still on the ground, play resumes. Shannon now with the ball. Gives it to Amos. Wichita player off the field now. Looks like he's all right. Wichita head back to the wall. There's Hobson. Takes a shot. A little bouncy. And Amos is able to cover that up. Amos sends it out to Shannon. Shannon long pass into the left corner for Tayu. Tayu getting... Looks like he gets control of it, trying to turn, get a shot, can't quite do it. Loses the ball now. Wichita comes out with it. Bryant up in the field, yellow line, little scuffle. TM comes in, steals the ball away. Parente gets control, and now Shannon sends it all the way up to Ponies. Ponies needs to put some heat on. Oh, he takes a shot just wide of the net.
Oh, wow.
Bounces all the way out past the yellow line, and now Wichita's down at the other end. That was Cordovez with the ball, trying to get a shot, can't. Claire comes in, kind of inhibits him from doing so, gets the ball back. Claire definitely trying to make something work today. Not able to. Wichita now with the ball on the far side of the yellow line. Gives it inside to Cordovez. Cordovez stopped by Coleman, trying to get that shot. Over to Jackson. Jackson now in the neutral zone, gives it back for Barton. Barton gives it over. Shot from the far side. Amos stops. Quick give to Parente. Parente pressured there by Barton. Gives it to Cordovez. Cordovez shot blocked. Shannon gets it. All the way up to Guernsey. You've got 2-on-1. Guernsey takes a shot, and he puts it in! Sam Guernsey with a nice, easy goal there. Puts it right past the keeper. Little round-off backflip.
And a big backflip from him.
And refs are whistling something. Not sure if he's allowed to do that. That might be a little bit of showmanship. But nonetheless, great goal by Sam Guernsey. We had the 2-on-1 rush. And, you know, the goalie just trying to figure out, is he going to pass? Is he going to shoot? Is he going to pass? Sam easily gets up in there close and just puts it right past him.
Great individual effort on the part of Guernsey. It was, I think he's back to speed. If you could, I mean, it's, he's not showing any sign of injury. He's definitely not limping or anything, which you would expect from an injury of the severity that he had. And that was just a really phenomenal individual effort right there.
Yes, and that goal from Sam Guernsey will put Tulsa up on the board 4-3 with 5:08 remaining in this third quarter of play. Great goal to get the fans back riled up here. Give Tulsa a little bit of oomph there. Looking for the word, just a little bit of an intimidation factor, I do think, as well. Getting up on this team, Wichita with a little bit with a better record for sure, a little bit more experience. Now, I think they used a timeout, it looks like, after that play, as a lot of talking is happening. But, yeah, not just individual effort, but great effort from the defense, able to get that ball up so quickly from the Tulsa defensive end. Just be able to turn that ball around and get it over and make it an offensive play very, very quickly. I think that's something that Tulsa's been trying to do a lot with those long passes from D. And in that aspect, Wichita got caught up in the Tulsa end. They were able to turn around the ball really, really fast, and Guernsey was there to put the ball in.
Oh, absolutely. It was just it's good to see them come up in the game. It's hard to say in indoor soccer, but it's always a next goal situation. I don't know what adjustments that Wichita is going to be making, but they were doing a lot. They were making a lot of the same mistakes that Tulsa was, especially in the second quarter. So.
Yeah, definitely. And just recap on that goal scored by Sam Guernsey at 5:08 in the third quarter. Assist from Thomas Shannon. Again, one of those long balls. Shannon just popped it out to midfield, and St. Guernsey was able to run it in from there. So that is Shannon's actually third assist. He's had an assist on all but one goal today. So that puts his points way up. He came into the game, I believe, with 16 points. He now has 19 points and 5 goals for Thomas Shannon. So let's see, 14 of those points from assists alone. So he's quite the game changer here on this team. Thomas Shannon, our captain, making plays happen. Levi Coleman tripped up a little bit there at half field. We'll get back to play here with about 4:03 left in this third quarter of play. Tulsa now sitting at 5 fouls. Wichita reset. They're now at 1 after their 2-minute penalty. So next foul for Tulsa is going to land them a 2-minute penalty and a man advantage for Wichita. Tulsa playing a little bit safer, trying not to get caught up in that foul business. Back to play here. Wichita's got it deep in their end. Frank Tayu steals away in the corner. Dewey kicks it back into the corner. Shannon recovers there at the yellow line. Gives it back for Beckford. Beckford now at midfield. Over to Shannon in the neutral zone. Shannon lobs it up and in to the right corner. Goes out of play. Can't get that bounce off the boards like he wanted. Risky thing. Thomas has certainly gotten a better handle on that. He's done that repeatedly over and over again, and that's warranted the other team a lot of kicks at the top of the arc. But this game he's definitely kept those under control. Not as risky as what we've seen. And so I think just the little things like that, this Tulsa team is really putting things together nicely. Long ball from Sam Guernsey now deep in the end. And now that's going to be a top-of-the-arc kick. He quite didn't have the control that Thomas has been working on. Now this is one of those fundamental plays that can be make or break for some of these teams as the top-of-the-arc kick. And defending against these can be incredibly hard. And Wichita tried something risky every time. And going up, fake a kick and calls a timeout instead was Brady Bryant. I feel like the Wichita, they like to have these little trick plays. Anytime they've gotten one of the top-of-the-arc kicks, they never just go for it. Right. They try to fake us out.
Right, you don't want to take that shot right on. And I guess the best comparison to it would be the indirect free kick or the two-touch kick in the open field game. Of course, I would imagine they would call it indirect free kick in this game. But a lot of people, if they've not seen indoor soccer, they would think it would be like a penalty shot, but it's not. They want to make that second shot. They want to get the goalkeeper moving, and if you get the goalie moving, you have a better shot at putting it past him anyway. So it's been an interesting third quarter. I think that. I don't want to jinx them like we did in the second quarter and say that the Revolution are in control, because in the game of arena soccer, you cannot say that a team's in control because of the shortness of the field. But right now, I think that they look comfortable out in the field, Josh. That's the best thing I can say. And the ball control issues are starting to resolve themselves a little bit.
I think definitely. I've been saying this team plays a lot better after half. We definitely saw that last week against Dallas, but this team really comes alive. I don't know if Michael Ensian just has some really great inspirational talks down there in the locker room or what, but this team really comes alive second half of play, and just, I don't know, maybe gets in the groove. It'd be nice to see that in the first quarter of play, but they're able to make it last and really come out stronger. Wichita now setting up for this kick. Gives it to Claire. Gives it right to Amos. Amos just grabs that. That was a little bit different play.
He knew where that shot was going to go.
Now Tulsa has it all on the far side. Pony's fighting for it. But gets kicked. I believe it kicked by a Wichita defender. Goes off of Pony's and out of play. So it's going to be Wichita's ball deep in their end.
Ball back in play now. Referee sets it down. And we'll be underway here in just a second.
Long boot from Wichita all the way up. Guernsey gets a head on it, knocks it out to the neutral zone. Claire on the near side, sends it over. Header there, not controlled. Guernsey gets it out to Frank. Frank Tayu to Parente. Parente dribbling through midfield. Gets it a little knocked around, still has control. Shot, but goes way over the top of the goal and way up into the stands. Good little play there. We had 3 Tulsa offensively, trying to get work things together. Parente, very, very good ball handler. He can dribble through a crowd, trying to make things work. Tayu on the right wing, I believe Mason up there on the left, ready to get those rebounds had they happen. It's things like this that you see the Revolution team doing that's really building upon improvement. They're not scattered. You don't just have one guy running up the field trying to do something. There's a plan, and they're trying to execute those.
Yeah.
Dewey for Wichita, goalkeeper, sent it up the field. Mason gets it, puts it up in the air. Now Wichita trying to make something of it. Claire on the far side, shot, and just able to volley it right past Amos. Very, very quick shot from Claire on a bounce. And that is Wichita's leading scorer. We've been waiting to hear from him all day, and there he was. And what a goal it was. Now that'll put Wichita tied at 4 with Tulsa with 2:19 remaining in this third quarter of play.
They just hung that forward out to the side, and he got that lucky, what would be called, I guess, a one-timer shot. Just put it right past Lou Amos, and we are back to level at 4 apiece. 4 all, I believe.
Yeah, 4 all, I think, if you're playing tennis. But yeah, Tulsa not able to enjoy that lead for as long as they would have liked. Now having to fight hard again and get that lead back. Coleman down on the far end in the left corner, trying to find something to do. Gives it to Mason. Mason comes in, stopped. Getting control, gives a rainbow kick into the middle. Shannon tries to get ahead on it. There's TM to take it at the top of the arc. TM into the far corner now. Into the near corner, I'm sorry. Thomas trying to get a foot on it in the right corner. A lot of defensemen in there for Wichita. Oh, and TM doesn't control that ball and just boots it up into the crowd. A lot of little chances there by Tulsa, just bouncing around. Goalie out of place. Defenseman trying to play goalie. And TM not able to get control of that ball to keep the play going. So back to an even game here. Tulsa still with 5 fouls. Next one nets them a penalty. And Wichita back at 1 fouls. They're far away from taking that penalty again. Dewey puts it into play far into the Tulsa zone in the left corner. TM heavily defending Cordovez there. Gives it back out to Hobson. Hobson sends it back to midfield. And they'll send it back to Dewey. Dewey at the yellow line. Puts a foot on it into the left corner again. Heavily pressured there from Parente and TM. Parente comes away with it. Although pressured there by Pittman. Wichita still with the ball here on the near boards. Casey Barton gives it to Pittman. Pittman, little juke there at the yellow line. Tries to get a shot. Goes off of the heel of Guernsey up into the right corner. They fight for it there. TM knocks it out. Coleman now fighting for it at midfield. He's got 3 men on him. Gets it away. Pony's now with it. Tries to turn. Almost stumbles. Gets away. Puts it in the goal. Counted good for Michael Pony. Second one of the night. Almost gets tripped up on the far side there. Able to recover. Takes that ball in and knocks it past the keeper Dewey 1-on-1.
That's a beautiful play. It looked like he lost his footing for a minute there, and then he just slipped it right past him. It's that far post once again. And here we are back up on top.
Michael Pony's making it an interesting game, putting Tulsa on top with 45 seconds left in this third quarter. A lot of back and forth here in this game. Very, very much fast paced, but still low scoring compared to other indoor games that we've seen around the PASL. Back to play very quickly. Wichita putting some pressure on, but Amos able to make that stop. Amos playing it to Shannon, back to Amos. Amos long pass into the neutral zone, but intercepted by Bryant. Bryant taking it all the way up by himself, getting past one defender, getting stopped by Encian on his foot. Wichita going up for the ball, falling on the ground. Now Bryant with the ball again, on the left side. Shot, stopped by Amos, knocked in the right corner. 7 seconds left. Wichita still fighting, knocked away by Shannon. That's going to be a whistle. And that's going to be called against Tulsa. It looks like Thomas Shannon's going to be called for that foul. And the referee signaled 6. And Tulsa's going to have to send someone to the box for this penalty. So with 6 fouls for Tulsa, they're going to put Parente, it looks like, in the box for just the last 3 seconds of this quarter, and then the remaining time for the start of the fourth quarter. So almost, about 2 full minutes in the fourth quarter. Wichita's going to have a man advantage. They're going to start with the ball over on the right side, almost in the corner, for just the last 3 seconds, see if they can make a play out of this. As soon as the referee whistles, Wichita will be ready for the kick. Off of Ponies, back out of play.
That's a quarter.
And that's going to be quarter, full 3 seconds there. Third quarter of play, very, very exciting quarter. 4 goals total. 1 from Tulsa to start it off with 11:38 left. Then Tulsa answers again about 5-6 minutes later. From Guernsey, and that puts them up 4-3. Then Wichita answers just 3 minutes after that, and moments ago Tulsa up the score again, 5-4 from Ponies, and that was Ponies' second goal of the night. Now let me check and see if we've got some assists for those goals. Let's see, Ponies was assisted from Coleman both times on that goal, so first goal of the quarter, Ponies, Coleman. And then second, Guernsey from Shannon. And then Ponies, Coleman once again. So I'm not sure if we're seeing all these little pairings today from our scorers and assisters, but there's a lot of the same here on the score sheet today. So these guys definitely showed up to play, and they've been doing a good job of it. Now that quarter of play, a lot more dominated by Tulsa, I would definitely like to say. Not as sloppy of play, looked a little bit more confident, obviously putting a few goals up on the board. But overall, I think Wichita was back on their heels, kind of fighting for the ball more so than in control.
Definitely. It looks like the Revolution are definitely settling the ball down a whole lot better, at least in the last 2 quarters or before the half. And it really forced the B-52s to take the ball and send it long. And it's a lot of back and forth. Of course, short field is hard to judge that, but it seems like the one goal that they had in that period was one of those things where they got that forward out and had Lou Amos moving just a half a step behind it. And I think that it was a good goal. It was a pretty good shot. It's just right now, I think that the Revolution should not sit back and call this one in any way or shape or form at the end of the game, because they've got to continue the attack, and it'll be the insurance goal. It'll be that elusive insurance goal that they've got to get.
Yeah, definitely. Just being up by 1 goal going into the fourth quarter by no means guarantees Tulsa this game, and I'm sure they know that, and Coach Ensign definitely knows that. As he's telling his players that now, like, yes, we have a little bit of insurance, a little bit of a safety net. We're not going to be at a deficit if they score the next goal, but we definitely want to keep this lead and, put a couple more in the net if we can to finish out this game. Tulsa, with only one other win this season, back on December 28th, we'd love to see him get another win today versus this Wichita team. We've seen them a couple times already. This is their third match. Tulsa not able to get up on them yet, but that might be able to change today. The infamous balloon pop happening now in the arena, if you might be able to pick that up.
I think that's my favorite part of the match right there. I'm sorry, whenever but it's a great promotion. You get a balloon in the third quarter. At the start of the fourth quarter, you get to pop them. It's as I described to Jeff one time, it was like hearing the muskets go off during the Revolution. If you want to tie it together with our name,
Revolution. There you go.
This is, I think, right now. It's easy to say this is a sports cliche, but this is Tulsa's game to lose. I hate to say it like that, but they have got to seize control. And right now, they're on the penalty kill.
Yes, they are now. Remember, we do have that penalty kill about 1:57 to kill in this last quarter of play. I say last quarter, hence we don't go to a overtime. But we've started this quarter of play, and Wichita has the ball. Chang has it at the yellow line, gives it to the right side. Back to Chang. Over to Lauder. Lauder gives it in the left corner for Claire. All the way back to Chang. Chang into the inside for Hobson. Hobson puts a shot on goal, stopped by Shannon, and then it gets cleared out of the zone. Jason Dewey, keeper for Wichita, brings it up to neutral zone, gives it over to Lauder. Lauder to Claire, back to Lauder. Claire inside, takes a shot, bounces around, gets off the boards all the way around for Chang near the yellow line. Gives it back to Lauder. Lauder looking off of the foot of Claire towards the goal. Nothing happens. Amos is able to grab that. Amos gives a long ball down the field for no one as we are still playing defensively to kill off this penalty. Wichita comes back with it. Claire in the corner. Back on the right side here for Chang. Chang into the right corner for Hobson. And Hobson looks like it's tangled up with Beckford there, and they're going to call a foul, and that's going to be Tulsa's ball. And Tulsa calls a timeout with that stoppage of play. So 13:42 left in this fourth quarter of play. Not too much longer, and we'll be seeing a fifth man back out on the field for Tulsa. So still playing at that disadvantage, trying to kill off this penalty, and then they'll playing a little bit more aggressively, I'm sure, the rest of this quarter, just playing a little bit more back, a little bit safer. Definitely don't want to get any loose balls or give them any odd man rushes before we get an extra man up on the field. Thomas Shannon down on the field giving a lot of instruction to the team during this timeout. Looks like a lot of information coming from him. Coach Ensign definitely putting some words in as well. But I love the communication with this Tulsa Revolution team. I've been down there just very little by the bench first couple of games and able to hear them talk. Thomas Shannon has a lot of weight on this team. He's given a lot of responsibility, and he's allowed to talk a lot. He's almost like a second coach. We do have an assistant coach, Christian Porto. I actually do not see him today, but Thomas Shannon, very, very, he's a captain of the team for very good reasons. Wonderful leader, very smart player. He knows what he's doing, and he can play very well. And just the fact that they're all kind of more of a community. They can talk and come up with ideas with each other. It's not just what coach says goes. It's whatever works for the rest of the team.
Right.
So a lot of great stuff there. Back into play, Thomas sends a far ball. Still playing defensively there, and Wichita brings it back up the field. Same line for Wichita out there. Get a shot from Lauder, blocked by Ponies. Chang gets it back to Lauder. Lauder over to Chang on the yellow line. Chang into the dark corner for Hobson. Hobson sends it up, way over the glass, up into the stands. 13-13 left in this quarter. Only 10 seconds left in this penalty. And Tulsa will be able to get their fifth attacker back out onto the field. Slow play here as we get balls knocked way up into the stands. We got to wait for an usher to retrieve or the refs to get their second ball out. So that's what causes these slow stoppages. Alrighty, Lewis Amos here now with what would be goal kick. And he'll send it flying deep into the Wichita zone. Wichita trying to turn around quickly. They know they don't have much time to kill. And there's Parente out of the box. We're at full strength again. Claire with it on the far side. Gives it back to Lauder. Lauder looking in the neutral zone. Over to Chang on the far side. Chang passes to the near side to Hobson. Hobson to Pittman. Pittman back into the neutral zone now. Pressure there from Beckford. From Ponies. Gives it over to Claire. Claire's shot stopped by Guernsey. Over and out. Parente now trying to get it out of the zone. Claire gives it back into Pittman. Off the boards. Chang not able to control it in the arc, but he was where he wanted to be, and it is cleared out by Tulsa. Back for it is Dan Sack for Wichita in the neutral zone, working it back up to Pittman near the yellow line. Pittman sends it way back for Bryant in his own zone. Brighton, Sack. There's Claire at midfield. Quick give and go. Claire with it again, top of the arc. Loose ball. And they're able to put it past Lewis Amos. Amos got a foot on that ball. It kind of got through his legs, and it went over to the left side of the boards. He was trying to get on top of it, but let's see. Kevin Jackson for Wichita was there on that left side and able to poke it right into the net.
He's got to control those rebounds. That's what kind of bit Lou Amos right on that shot. So we're back to even now. As it's kind of the story of the season for the Revolution. They're either even or they're up. It was that way against the Saltillo team.
Yes.
Saltillo or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, early game versus Saltillo, Mexico. Just a lot of back and forth, a lot of close play, and just Tulsa not able to hang on to it there. So back in a tie game, 5-5, now with 11:45 left to play in this fourth quarter. Stays like this for another 11 minutes, we might see some extra time. B-52s with the ball on the far side, shot off the wall. Guernsey gets a foot, puts it out in the neutral zone. Frank Tayu there, putting a little bit of pressure. Dewey, the goalkeeper, has it, gives it up to Bryant. Guernsey pressuring Bryant up to midfield, able to give it off. Parenti now with the ball, up to Tayu, to Mason. Mason gets tripped up on the way into the arc. No foul called, and Wichita comes away with the ball. Claire now has it up on the neutral zone, passing into the Revolution zone. Off the wall. Pittman put it off the wall. Now Tayu controls it all the way up for Bradford. Bradford able to put a little tap on it, puts it up, not able to get it past the goalkeeper Dewey as he catches the ball and gives it up to midfield. Wichita now with the ball into the Tulsa zone. Claire up by the boards. Lewis knocks it away. Back into the neutral zone for Wichita. Giving it into Lauder. Lauder over on the near side to Cordovez. Cordovez dribbles through the middle. Over to the left side for Claire. Claire trying to put it in off the boards. Nothing. Makes Amos comes out, gets a little uncomfortable. Wichita resetting on the far side, just inside the Tulsa zone. Bad pass. Amos has it in the right corner to Shannon. Not able to get it to Shannon. Bad pass. Amos can't get it. Terrible, terrible play there. That was just a falling apart by Amos and the Tulsa defense as Amos gives it up just right in front of the goal. And I don't even know what Wichita player was standing there, but all he had to do was pass it. And just a light touch put it right in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That is, I think, a great example of just bad communication.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to have better, he needs to talk a little bit more with his defenders, get that ball cleared, because that really bit him on that one. So, I mean, he had the option to control the ball or clear it, and he just did not. He didn't pick one way or the other, really. It was just miscommunication, and he needs to. They need to tighten up on that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Amos had control of that ball in the corner. He could have cleared it, tried to give a little pass to Shannon. I don't think he was expecting it. Got it stolen away. Amos wasn't able to control that steal and just put it away for Wichita. So that'll put Wichita up 5-6 with just 10 minutes left in this fourth quarter of play. Let's get back to play here. They just kicked the ball off. Wichita now has the ball over on the far side, midfield. Passing it back to Casey Barton. Barton with it at the yellow line, gives it to Dewey. Dewey now on the close side, heavily by Coleman, defended there. Given up now on the Tulsa yellow line, Shannon, but loses it at midfield. Shannon trying to steal it back there from Skonya Milo, excuse me. Far pass in by Wichita, header. Amos is able to knock it up over the glass and then get on top of it. Another very, very close play, one-on-one there, Wichita with Amos. And Amos comes out with the save. Beckford, excuse me. No, that was Bradford. I always get those two confused. Trying to make something happen in the neutral zone up here. Coleman now with it. And Parente, a little bit of options. Parente there with a foot off the leg of a defenseman and out of play. Now that's going to be a Tulsa corner kick. A little iffy play. Bradford trying to make something happen, loses it at the yellow line, and then gets a little bit of help from Coleman and Parente. Parente's shot blocked by a defenseman, and referees now trying to get a hold of the ball again with this outage.
Well, the Revolution are starting to chase a little bit, and going a goal down, you can really see there's a certain bit of urgency, although there is a lot of time left on the clock. They're going to have to get some communication problems addressed, and looks like they've got a timeout on the pitch.
Yes, another timeout called by Tulsa. Coach Ensign definitely using these timeouts to his advantage. While a stoppage is happening, getting a little bit of thought and a little bit of organization coming into this play that's about to happen. Very set play. You never know what you can do with the corner kick there. A lot of opportunities. Put it at the top of the arc, get a shot, rebound off the wall. I think these plays very, very close to the goal are very important for teams, and what you do with them is very key.
Absolutely, they play really deep, and that's one of the things that really got to me about observing this game for the first time is how deep the players play and how close in the face of the goaltenders that they are. The other opposing team is, and I think that's what bit on that last goal by Wichita is that they had the goal. They had their deep man so right up in Lou Amos's face, and that got him off of his game just that much, and hopefully. That and his communication with his defenders, they've got to address that. I'm quite sure that's what Coach Ensien just did. With the ball deep, the free kick deep in the Wichita zone, we're going to see how what the adjustments he just gave them. See if it pans out.
Definitely. We're still waiting now for the Wichita team to get out of their huddle. Tulsa back on the field, ready to play. Now, what Tulsa does here with this ball, they can get a quick play off. I'm sure what they'd like to do is just get a quick little pass and get a shot on net. Hope that goes in and get this game tied up. If not, you got to make sure if Wichita gets the ball to get back and hustle up on defense because we can't be having any odd man rushes here with a play this deep into the Wichita zone. Referees just about ready to get this play started back up again. We got 8:58 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Wichita up 6-5. Wichita with 2 fouls. Tulsa back at 0. Ball's in play. Parente with a shot. Goes off of Pittman and out of play. And that's going to be Tulsa's ball on the far side right by the yellow line. Parente gives it into the arc for Coleman. Not able to get anything of it. Heavily pressured from behind. Ponies gets a foot. And then making the goalkeeper slide in Dewey for it to cover that up. Dewey throwing it out past mid. Now Pittman has it now in by himself. Puts it over. Claire just puts a boot on it on the far side and sinks it in the top of the net. That loose ball just kind of went off of Guernsey's shin as he blocked a pass, and it trickled over to the far side, and Claire just buried it.
Across right across the pitch. First man made Lou Amos bite, and then it was just that second shot. Pretty well constructed play, I have to say. So now we sit at 7-5 on Wichita. And,
Wichita getting that goal, not what Tulsa was needing to do there off of that play. Tulsa needing to put a ball in the back of the other net. So now playing down even more, Tulsa's really needing to amp it up here, get some energy, and turn some of this into the goals. Wichita with control of it now, sending it into the right corner. There is Skonya Milo, excuse me, that name, I can't get over it. Tulsa getting control, sending out to mid for Frank. Frank Taiyu with it, now with 4 players around him. Frank gets a shot. Dewey dives for it, saves, gets it quickly out to Chang. In the neutral zone, stolen by Parente. Parente's shot off the top of the boards. Oh, that shot was terribly close. Went off of the boards just on top of the goal and bounced out of play. So that's going to be a Wichita ball on the near boards. Gives it up to Lauder, Lauder dribbles into the Tulsa zone. Puts a move on Encian into the corner. Lauder goes down. Ball still loose. Encian getting control of the ball now. Taking out of the zone. Up to midfield. Gets the ball stolen away. And the ball goes back to Dewey. Dewey sends it far up the field for Matt Mason. Heads it down. Encian takes it. Passes it back to Amos. Amos sends it up midfield, but gets headed away by Jackson. Chang is there, so is Claire. Claire puts it past Amos. There's another quick goal from Matt Claire. Wow. Now, he was nowhere to be seen earlier this game for about the first half, and now he's really come out in the last 2 quarters and has just been putting ball after ball after ball in the back of the Tulsa net. And it looks like the referees are also calling him for showmanship. I'm not sure. They're always calling, they're touching their shoulders, and they're blowing the whistle after they score a goal. Claire jumped up on the wall to celebrate that goal with the fans that's sitting over there, which is great and all. But, you know, the referee's doing the whistle and the same signal that Sam Guernsey got after doing the round-off backflip. I'm not sure if that goes towards a foul count or what kind of deficit that is or what the purpose is. But the referee's not liking him jumping off the wall after that goal. No. So just, you know, odd man rush there for Wichita. Tulsa not getting their bearings. I don't know. They're slipping back. They're trying to push hard. I think they're putting too many people up front, and they're not able to keep control of that ball, and then they're not playing back. That's a problem that we've seen Tulsa do over and over again. It's great if they push hard, they're playing up the field, they're getting those strong rushes, but then if they can't control the ball, no one's hustling back to play defense. And that's where we get caught on those odd man rushes. And it was just Chang and Claire up there getting to play around, and they just buried it in the back of the net. Amos, you know, is only able to do so much in front of that goal, and he really needs the help of his defense.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing in the first, definitely in the first 2 quarters, is we were dropping a man back instead of sending one up deep into the Wichita zone. And, of course, we have a better view on it than Coach Encian does, but I'm sure he sees it. Now let's see if we can make the adjustment, or they can make the adjustment, rather.
So now with 7:15 remaining in this 4th quarter of play, Wichita's up on Tulsa 8-5. Tulsa with the kickoff. Loses the ball in the neutral zone. Wichita's ball on the far side. Gives it up to Hobson. Hobson takes it into the Tulsa end. Heavily defended there by Guernsey. Pushing and pushing. Guernsey's down on the ground. Foul's going to be called. I don't even know against which team. It's like foul against Tulsa. Wichita is going to have the kick.
I guess so.
Yes, they're going to call that foul against Sam. And Wichita's going to have a ball in the corner there. Pittman's there. In the middle for sack, but nothing of it. All the way out on the near side, and Tayu's there trying to get the ball up out of the zone. Ponies tries to kick it up the field, went off the hand of Pittman, so they're going to call a dead ball there. It's going to be Tulsa's ball just outside of their zone. Guernsey's going to take it, give it to Ponies in the neutral zone. Over on the near side for Parente. David Parente up along the near boards for Shannon. Back to Ponies in midfield. Ponies all the way over to the right boards for Parente. Trying to control. Wichita has the ball there. A little bit of fighting up along the boards. Tayu there to help. Parente gets a foot on it. Knocked away by Dewey. Still fighting for the ball on the top of the arc. Over on the left side. Wichita has it. Hobson there. Sends it into midfield. No Wichita players. Ponies gets control. Takes a shot. Punched away by Dewey. Shannon's here on the near side to get the ball. Puts it back in the Ponies for the neutral zone. Ponies over on the near side for Guernsey. Guernsey taking a second. Gives it in over on the right side for Shannon. Back out to Guernsey. Guernsey high ball. Oh, header off of Tayu and in. Counted good for Frank Tayu. Little chip from Sam Guernsey. Cute little dance from Tayu and Parente down there. Guernsey giving that chip into Tayu, knocking it off of his head. no look, by the way. Yeah. Tayu was facing opposite the goal. He just knocks it backwards and is able to get it into the goal past Dewey.
Okay.
That goal coming up with 5:50 left in this fourth quarter of play. Tulsa now is 6, Wichita 8. So exciting fourth quarter here. A lot happening. A lot of really, really, really quick goals. Just, since the 12-minute mark, every couple of minutes we've been having some goals here. So it's been quite a fourth quarter. Wichita had the ball there on a stoppage, knocked out of play by Tulsa. Now Wichita's going to have the ball right about midfield, right at midfield.
Midfield stripe.
Number 12, Casey Barton, gives it just along the boards for Cordovez. Back to Barton, knocked off of Coleman. Parente with it there by Lauder. Ponies now clears it all the way up for Coleman, trying to get ahead on it, but Dewey is able to jump up and grab that ball. Quickly gives it up to Cordovez. Cordovez along the near side boards. Gets a little tripped up along the boards, but the ball keeps rolling all the way into the Tulsa zone. Recovered by Beckford, gives it to Bradford. And up by Coleman. Coleman now has it in the neutral zone. Doubly pressured by Wichita there. Wichita comes away with the ball. Ponies now intercepts that pass in the neutral zone in the left corner with Claire. Bounce off the boards. Top of the arc. Ponies gets a kick on it off the defenseman. Coleman trying to judge this ball as it's bouncing. Gets pulled down by Jackson. Coleman just trying to judge where this is going to bounce and trying to put a foot on it. And Jackson from behind is pulling him down. Wichita not happy with that call, not at all. Having a few words with the ref there. And it's going to be Tulsa's ball just outside the arc over there on the right side. Thomas Shannon there to line up for this kick.
All right.
Thomas over to Guernsey, into Tayu, almost puts a foot on it into the goal, knocked out. Wichita now back, two on one with Guernsey. Cordovez with it. Amos slides out, blocks, rebound taken by Kevin Jackson and put into the back of the net. Little celebration going on the wall there.
Yeah.
Great save by Amos, able to stop the two-man rush. Again, Tulsa just not getting back to play defense. Guernsey was the only man back with 2 men, and soon 3 with Kevin Jackson coming in to dump that rebound in. But just it's that hustle, it's that defensive hustle that Tulsa needs to do. They're just not getting back on D, and that's what's killing them a lot. The Wichita players
scored completely.
Yeah, it's those odd man rushes is what's been getting Tulsa, putting them at this deficit. So 4:28 left in this fourth quarter. Wichita up 9, Tulsa 6. Off the kickoff, Frank now in the right corner puts a shot on goal, saved by Dewey. Dewey sends it all the way up, but Thomas Shannon gets it at his yellow line, gives it to Amos. Amos, long shot in the neutral zone for Parente. He keeps it there, defended. Parente gets around, gives it to Frank Tayu. Tayu loses it there to Bryant. Bryant goes down, Tayu still up. Parente with a ball, gives it past him, and in the goal! David Parente, a little bit of footwork there. Beats the Wichita goalkeeper and is able to easily just put it into the net with a little bit of help from his teammate Frank Tayu up there. Good little play by them.
Nice little dig move there. Took it right around the goalie, and they cut the deficit to 2. It's one thing you don't blink in the arena sports, and it certainly is true of arena soccer. And it could be a very interesting last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, with just 4 minutes left, Tulsa comes, scores another goal, put it 7-9, just back down to just 2 goals now. Very, very exciting and quick fourth quarter happening here. A lot of goal scoring. But Tulsa's got to play careful. They can play great when they get those rushes, and they can very quickly play up front, but it's that playing back and getting to play D is where they can hurt. So it's a very, very finely balanced game Tulsa's playing here. And so let's see if they can keep it alive for the last 3.5 minutes. Ball down. Wichita's got it in the left corner in the Tulsa zone. We got 3 men there, 3 Tulsa defenders. Claire has it into Chang. Chang loses it to Shaman Shannon. Shannon dribbling out of the zone, gives it up to Coleman. Coleman now in the neutral zone. Gives it back to Shannon in the middle. Shannon takes shot and goal!
Nice.
Thomas Shannon, easy touch just in front of the goal, puts it past the keeper, Dewey, and that's all you got to do, folks. Nothing too fancy, nothing too hard. Just a nice little touch is all it's going to take for Thomas Shannon to put Tulsa back up on the board. 8-9 now. And with that goal, Wichita will call a timeout to, I'm sure, talk this all over and get things situated with only 3:10 remaining in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they definitely tipped the scales here. It's just the ability of the Revolution to finish this one. If they've got the heart and they've got the desire, they can win this game. It's just a matter of pushing it right over the top. And I think they've got the capability. They just have the clock that they're fighting right now.
Yeah, earlier, with an advantage, you always wish the clock had less time than it says. But now, being at a disadvantage, Tulsa's kind of hoping it had a little bit more time that they can work with. Hopefully, I mean, those 2 goals coming within a minute of each other, just 45 seconds, 3:55 to 3:10 between those 2 Tulsa goals. I mean, they definitely don't need too much time if they just make it work. So Tulsa now with the goal up, just 1 goal down now on Wichita with 3:10 remaining in this match, and we're going to start this with another kickoff from Wichita as soon as they get ready to kick the ball here.
The one thing they have got to do, the one thing the Revolution have to do is they have to attack now. They don't have much of a choice. They got to take the game straight at them. Go right for the throat.
And there's a steal from Frank Tayu in the neutral zone with a shot and goal! Tayu with a steal in the in the neutral zone, and just puts a beautiful shot on goal, and that'll tie it up.
That's like we were talking about, Josh.
Exactly like you were saying, Rich.
You got to take the game. You got to shove it right down their throat, and that's what they're doing. Just over 3 minutes remained in the game. It has become a very interesting game. It looked like we were back on our heels, but now the Revolution has seemed to have seized a little bit of control here.
I don't know what they did during that timeout, but they definitely created a spark here. They are on fire, and this crowd is loving it. This is the best action this crowd, I think, has seen in a very long time here at home. Amos almost getting into trouble there, wanting to grab that ball, but not quite inside the arc enough. There's a yellow card to number 9 for Wichita, Aviel Cordovez, giving a lot of mouth to the ref behind the play. I'm not sure. I think he might have seen that play with Amos that was quite close. Not quite grabbing it. The referees let it go. Nothing, no harm, no foul. But Cordova is just giving a lot of lift there behind the play, and he getting carded for it. And that will give Tulsa a man advantage, a much-needed man advantage here with 2:47 left.
It's an interesting. I believe that's the first time I've seen a card in the games that I've seen. But it looks like the whatever argument they tried to push did not pass with the referee.
Pardon me, I may be incorrect in saying that they get a man advantage. Another yellow card now to Matt Clare for Wichita. Not sure what the reasoning is, but more mouth, the fans are loving it. Another card, no hesitation there from the referee, Reza Namavar, just whipping it out. They're not going to take it at this point. So another penalty for Wichita. But I do not believe yellow cards put him at a man disadvantage. I misspoke when I said that earlier. They are still at full strength, just not able to play with those players, which putting Matt Clare away for a couple minutes is very beneficial for this Tulsa team, as you've seen his streak of goals in this fourth quarter. And a red card now.
Go in the dressing room.
A red card to Matt Clare from the referee in the box. Still more words being exchanged. Things getting quite exciting here. You'd almost think this was a hockey game with the way this crowd is acting.
That's it. He's been booked. He's gone.
Clare now taking off his shirt and leaving the field. Not bothering with the door. Just going to hop over the wall there. And so that's all we're going to see of Matt Clare for this game with 2:47 left, mind you. I mean, there has been no more play. All this stoppage has simply been cards and all this ruckus that's been happening. Now this crowd is loving it, on their feet, waving goodbye, applause. The Wichita fans, I look a little awestruck, honestly, from here. I don't think they know what's going on. I don't really know what's going on with foul-wise, but just a lot of, I wish I could get clarification from what the fouls were, why the yellow cards were given. But up here, it's
one of those idiosyncrasies I don't think either one of us looked at. But one thing's for sure, when you get a red card, you are gone. That is it. It's all over with. You're done for the game. So we do have penalty time up on the clock, I think, over there. And
yes, okay. So now there's going to be, looks like, 4-minute penalty is what was issued to Cordova, which, that's going to be the rest of the match. So Cordova's not going to see any more play because of that yellow card for 4 minutes. And then Clare getting sent out just now with a red card. So he's back in the locker room. And there's only 2:47 left on the clock. Both teams at full strength, mind you. Yellow cards do not merit a man advantage of any kind, just the foul rack-ups that lead to a penalty. And so now it's going to be Tulsa's ball in the neutral zone. Parente gives it up to Coleman. Coleman back to Beckford. Beckford now with it in the neutral zone over to Guernsey. Guernsey heavily pressured there by Jackson. Almost losing it. Able to clear it too far. That's going to give a ball at the top of the arc for Wichita. Guernsey clears it all the way across the field and into the near side boards, or out of the near side boards, I should say. So now very, very, very close play here at the top of the arc. Very dangerous play
indeed
for Tulsa. Guernsey, definitely not wanting to give up that goal back there on that play to Jackson while being pressured, but having to watch out here. Now let's see what Wichita does. Off of Parente, bounces off the boards back to midfield. Wichita's going to give it back to the goalkeeper, Dewey. Taiyu Garrett give pressure off the head of Jackson up at the Tulsa yellow. Into the corner for Hobson. Hobson playing with it there with Shannon. Shannon gets some help from Bradford. Bradford gives it all the way up to midfield for Taiyu. Tries to turn. There, now he does. Can't quite get any space. Gives it to Beckford. Beckford gets tripped up going through the neutral zone. Both players go down, but it's going to be in Tulsa's favor as he gets tangled up with Chang just on the other side of the midline. Going to sub out, Beckford off, Guernsey on. Thomas Shannon's going to line up, take this kick. We've got Ponies over in the right corner. Thomas gives it to Guernsey. Guernsey over on the far side to Ponies. Ponsey there by the wall, double pressure there. Rebound off the wall. Taiyu puts it, rainbow kick, stopped by Dewey. Back into the Wichita far corner. Wichita controls it, kick all the way up to the near side midfield. Chang there to intercept it. Shannon pressures with Parente. They both get away with the ball. Shannon now with the ball in the middle. Shoved off the ball by Bryant. That was a shove for sure as Shannon goes flailing down on the ground. And Bryant tries to just take the ball up the field, but that's not going to happen. So foul called just outside of the Wichita zone. Thomas Shannon going to tee it up there just on the other side of the yellow line. Now, these are the shots that Thomas Shannon likes to take.
Yeah.
We've seen him score from here before. Gives it to Parente. Parente shoots. Save. Ball cleared all the way back to Amos. Amos now puts a little foot on it to midfield for Guernsey. Guernsey gets it there. Wichita playing with two attackers up front, trying really hard to pressure and make Tulsa mess up here on D. Amos gives it deep in the left corner for Taiyu. Taiyu controls it there, dribbling out of the zone. Gives it back to midfield for Shannon. 1 minute remaining in this quarter, fourth quarter of play. Tied game 9-9. Parente getting held. Nothing called. Gives it to Ponies. Back to Parente. Now plays it back to Shannon at midfield. Shannon deep into the zone. Off the walls for Taiyu. Taiyu gets a toe on it. Sam Guernsey clears it into the next corner. Headed out by Wichita. Bounce and into the Tulsa bench. Now that's going to be a Tulsa ball over in front of their bench. Thomas Shannon able to set it up. 43 seconds remaining in this quarter of play. Tied at 9. Back to Guernsey at half. Guernsey has it now at half field. Trying to look for someone. Gives it back to Amos. Amos with it now up by the yellow lines. Fans now starting to stand. 30 seconds left. Gives it deep. Wichita takes it. Pressured here on the near side by Taiyu. Gets through him. Pass over to the far side for Hobson. Takes a shot. Nothing. Amos and Shang is able to be there to put it in the back of the net. Little tie up there in front of the goal. Frank Taiyu laying on the ground actually looks injured. Trying to get that ball out of there. Just a lot of bouncing around there, but Shang is able to come in and just bury it in the back of the net with 19 seconds remaining.
Oh, man, talk about an arrow through your heart right there. It's we do have a player down, Josh. I believe it is
Frank Taiyu, I think, is still down on the ground. He was grabbing his ankle. He does look to be in quite a bit of pain, still laying there. Trainer's now attending to him. Looks like Coach Ensign's going to pull Amos for maybe an extra attacker for the last 19 seconds of play. Amos has gone to the bench. And they're trying to get organized, but Taiyu's still down there being attended to. He's now getting up.
He is help.
And he's being helped off the field, looks like with a little bit of a limp, unfortunately. Hopefully nothing major for Frank Taiyu. Very, very integral part of this game and of this team.
Yes.
Looks like we've got Brian, let's say Bradford. Brian Beckford, yes, is going to put on a white jersey and play as acting goalkeeper, but sixth man out here on the field for the last 19 seconds of the game.
It's kind of a gut check time right now.
Alrighty, so Tulsa, 5 guys lined up on the line. Beckford playing back, sixth man. Got an empty net for Tulsa. We've got 19 seconds to make something happen. Tulsa down by 1 goal, 9-10. Ponies now with the ball at the yellow line. Cleared out by Wichita. Beckford back to save it. 10 seconds. Beckford's got it in the corner. Got to do something quick. 6. Hard shot. Ponies off the wall. And that's the end of regulation, folks. That's the game. Another sore loss there by Tulsa. I wish I could say I haven't seen this before, but that's what happened with Saltillo, Mexico earlier this season. Coming from behind, actually sending it into overtime, and then losing it there in overtime. Very just disheartening to see for this Tulsa team, just being so close, coming back from a deficit of 3 goals, and
right.
just trying to get that one, but just a little bit of sloppy play back there on defense. I think it's really what's been killing this team.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a heartbreaker to watch because they came so close. And this, I think, Josh, we can say, without stating the obvious, that we do now have a legitimate rival in the Professional Arena Soccer League, because this is the toughest in the games that I've seen of the Tulsa Revolution. This is the toughest they have played a team all season that I've seen. Have not seen all the games that have been played here in the Cox Business Center, but it has been, this was a definite improvement, vastly over last week, obviously, but it's, they stayed in it. It's just that it's tip to take. It's just that we had to push over the top, and that's the problem. They've got to solve that problem.
Definitely. And Tulsa, valiant effort playing out here. Like you said, just definitely playing the hardest I think I've seen them play. Very, very worthy of a win. Here, they definitely were hungry for it. You could tell that, even, with the simple mistakes, putting them down at that deficit, and then able to work back and come back to it and able to play. I mean, we have the offensive strength. I think defense is just where we need to work on it, or it's the offensive players playing defense. We got to get back and play that D. But that's the game today, folks. Wichita 10, Tulsa 9. Unfortunately, falling to a loss here at home again. But this is the second of 4 games in a homestand here to end out our home season. We've got 2 more games ahead of us. We've got Chicago next week, and it's going to be on Friday. So this Friday, January 31st, we host Chicago. Not for that tournament cup, unfortunately, but just a regular season game against Chicago. Out of our division, Chicago's actually the division leader for the Eastern Division, undefeated so far, 11-0. I know they are playing a game tonight, and they are up 12-4 against Harrisburg. So it looks like Chicago may have that one in the bag, so they could be 12-0 when we come and see them next week here in Tulsa. So be with us Friday. Tune in with us. Myself and Rich will be here again to call the game as we see it. And then after that, one more home game here in Tulsa against this Wichita B-52 game. They'll be traveling back down here to visit us on Friday, February 7th. So don't forget, next Friday we've got Chicago here in town, and tune in, listen here on America One. In the meantime, log on to TulsaRevolution.com for all your news, updates, and standings, and hope you'll join us again next week. Rich, anything else?
I got nothing, Josh. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
All righty, very good. Thank you all for tuning in again. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next week.